This page is the front cover of a SEGA Saturn magazine. It's packed with info for the summer. The main highlight seems to be a strategy guide for Lost World, Jurassic Park, for Saturn and Arcade. The cover also shouts out Last Bronx, which is featured prominently. We can also see mentions of Biohazard, which we know as Resident Evil, and J-League Pro Soccer Club O Tsukuru 2 for soccer fans. There's also something about pro wrestling, likely featuring Virtua Fighter characters. Looking at the smaller text boxes, it seems like they're teasing the latest Saturn games. They mention Langrisser IV, Marvel Superheroes, and Mega Man X4. There's also Galaxy Fraulein Una 3, Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, Lifescape 2, and Blue Breaker. Finally, they list Willy Wombat, Bushido Blade, and Angel Graffiti S as part of a SEGA Saturn Complete Guide. It looks like a packed issue for SEGA Saturn fans back in the day. This page seems to be a full-page advert for Biohazard, which we know internationally as Resident Evil. It's got the Capcom logo at the top and the title Biohazard splashed across the page in big red letters. Below the title are portraits of 4 characters who look like Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Albert Wesker, and Barry Burton. At the bottom of the page, there's some Japanese text, probably Capcom's contact details. There's also a small logo celebrating Rockman's 10th anniversary in the bottom right corner, which is Mega Man for us international players. This page is an advertisement for Biohazard, which is known internationally as Resident Evil, specifically the SEGA Saturn version. It announces the game as now on sale. There's a mention of a special first print bonus, an original Biohazard novel, encouraging players to inquire at stores for details while stocks last. The advert also highlights the game as survival horror and lists a price of 4,800 yen. It seems like this page is a straightforward promotion for the release of Resident Evil on the SEGA Saturn. This page is dedicated to Slayers Royal for the SEGA Saturn, highlighting it as the latest installment in the Slayers series for the console. It emphasizes that the game is a role-playing game exclusive to the SEGA Saturn and boasts a completely original storyline supervised by Hajime Kanzaka, the creator of Slayers. The advert features a large image of Lena Inverse giving a thumbs up, with Guri Gabriev and Amelia Tesla Saloon in the background. It also promotes the Slayers Great anime movie, mentioning its premiere on August 2nd and encouraging fans to check it out. The game is advertised as being currently on sale for 6,300 yen, excluding tax, and points out that movie-like cutscenes and powerful battle scenes are key features. There is also a mention of a Cool Pad Present campaign, suggesting some kind of promotional giveaway. Small screenshots at the bottom likely showcase in-game scenes and gameplay. This page is an advertisement for the SEGA Saturn game, Koi no Summer Vacation in Miyazaki Sea Gaia, a dating simulation game featuring the popular idol Okina Megumi. It's described as a virtual date simulation where you can enjoy a summer romance with Megumi in the resort setting of Miyazaki Sea Gaia over 4 days. The advert highlights features like a free scenario system allowing you to create your own date plans, and how Megumi's expressions dynamically change based on your conversations, encouraging you to understand her feelings. It also mentions that fun dates are presented in movie-like scenes, allowing you to experience a vivid and engaging interaction with Megumi. The game emphasizes checking your relationship parameters and remembering date promises. Priced at 5,800 yen excluding tax, and released on August 22, 1997, the advertisement poses the question of what kind of ending you'll achieve, emphasizing that it all depends on your gameplay choices. Similar to the previous page, a Cool Pad Present campaign is mentioned, suggesting a promotional giveaway related to SEGA Saturn peripherals and software during the period June 20th to August 31st. This page is an action-packed advert for the SEGA Saturn game Finalist, a 3D mission shooting title. The game's tagline is, "Finalist given a cruel mission." It sets a near-future scenario where a dictator is developing a weapon of mass destruction, threatening humanity. The world's leaders are in disarray, and ultimately, a single agent, the Finalist, is chosen for a critical mission. That's you. You pilot a high-performance hovercar, called the B-1 Craft, to infiltrate enemy territory and stop the dictator's ambitions. The text ominously warns, there is no guarantee of returning alive. The advert prominently features screenshots of in-game action, showcasing gameplay with score counters and a tunnel-like environment. It announces the game is a SEGA Saturn version urgently released and is 3D mission shooting available from August 8, 1997 on sale with a standard price of 5,800 yen. Like the previous page, a cool pad present campaign is highlighted, offering a free cool pad peripheral if you purchase new SEGA Saturn software and SEGA Saturn hardware during the promotional period, June 20th to August 31st. This page is an advert for Narrated, a SEGA Saturn game focused on paranormal explanations, with the tagline, "Explanation of the Paranormal," and the intriguing phrase, "Just two people's truth." The game seems to revolve around hidden shadows in people's hearts and the mysteries that unfold. Visually, an anime-style girl character takes center stage. The game description teases strange incidents and a group of 5 high school students who have been solving various mysteries. Screenshots showcasing other anime characters hint at the game's art style and cast. The voice cast is also highlighted, featuring names like Kanai Mika, Ueda Yuji, and others, suggesting a narrative-driven experience. Narrated is currently on sale for 5,800 yen. Like the previous page's finalist advert, this page also features the Cool Pad Present campaign, where purchasing new SEGA Saturn software and hardware during the promotional period earns you a free Cool Pad. There is also mention of a website address for more information. This page is an announcement from SEGA Saturn Magazine, informing readers of some exciting changes, starting from the August 22nd issue, a Friday release. It looks like the magazine will be increasing in page count and coming with a price reduction to make it even better value. Also highlighted is the fact that the magazine will include a Cridrom, which is scheduled to be released monthly on the 29th, judging from the small boxes beneath the Cridrom logo that say, "Best of!" followed by software names like Access 97, Word 97, Excel 97, Office 97, Windows 97, and PowerPoint 97. The Cridrom likely contains software demos or utilities related to these applications. It seems like SEGA Saturn Magazine is bulking up and becoming even more appealing to its readers. This page is also promoting the SEGA Saturn Magazine, highlighting its new direction and content. It's announcing a significant increase in page count to 200 pages and a price reduction of 290 yen, making it an even better deal for Saturn fans. They're promising in-depth coverage of the latest Saturn news, quicker and more detailed game information than any other weekly magazine, and a variety of content, including developer interviews, feature articles, new columns, comics, and novelizations. It sounds like they are really aiming to be the ultimate Saturn magazine. There are also adverts for other magazines. Dulce vs. Magazine is mentioned, dated July 15th, focusing on PC topics like Pentium 2338 MHz and 2001 Long Life PC challenges. Yahoo! Japan Magazine August issue is advertised, highlighting mobile internet and online services. There's an advertisement for a Sakura Wars activity photo collection book, emphasizing memorable scenes from the game, and a Tamagotchi Super Hard Guide for Game Boy. Finally, there's an ad for a Battlehan guide, which seems to be a reference book or strategy guide, and another for a Windows CE Japanese version guide, mentioning internet and utility software. This page features a striking anime-style illustration, with 4 characters taking center stage. In the foreground, we have 2 young women, one in a flowing white dress with large yellow ribbons in her hair, looking somewhat alluring, and another with brown hair and a yellow jacket with a worried expression. Behind them stand 2 men. One is quite distinctive, with long, dark hair, sunglasses, a cigarette, and a purple shirt under a black jacket, giving off a cool and mature vibe. The other man is partially obscured, but seems to have brown hair and a green jacket. The image clearly carries a mature theme, as indicated by the 18 years and older age restriction prominently displayed at the bottom left, alongside the SEGA Saturn logo. It looks like promotional artwork, potentially for a visual novel or adventure game aimed at an adult audience on the SEGA Saturn platform. The overall atmosphere hints at a serious or dramatic narrative. This page is dedicated to the mature-themed, perspective modern horror adventure game, The Literary Fragment, or Kuro no Danshu in Japanese. It introduces 3 main characters with detailed profiles. First, there's Yuki Asuka, a 20-year-old woman working as a detective agency assistant who became an orphan at 14 and was taken in by Tozaki when she was 16. Then we have Kusanae, a mysterious 24-year-old former psychology analyst and now Tozaki's assistant. Lastly, Tozaki Ryo, a 26-year-old detective who went to the US at 18, experienced a traumatic incident at 20 causing mental health issues, and returned at 22 after receiving treatment. Below the character profiles, you can see a grid of smaller portraits, hinting at a larger cast of characters involved in the game. The page also announces the game's release date as August 8th, a Friday, with a standard price of 6,300 yen. A special first press bonus CD is mentioned, featuring the game's soundtrack with 18 tracks and even some outtakes from the voice actors. Interestingly, to use the CD on a computer for some reason, you'd need Internet Explorer 3.0 or Netscape. The game is being brought to us by Oz Club. This page is the contents page of the magazine, highlighting the main articles for this issue. Front and center is a feature on page 62, a strategy guide for The Lost World, Jurassic Park. This guide seems to cover both the Saturn and arcade versions of the game, timed perfectly with the buzz around the movie release. Moving down to page 24, we have a special report section packed with game news. Titles mentioned include Last Bronx, Resident Evil, and a game called Machi. There's also Chaos Seed, Feng Shui Spirit Chronicles, All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua, and Setsufu no Shima Monogatari. Further down the list we see J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru 2, which was a popular soccer management sim, and Zeldner Child. Rounding out the report are RMJ, The Mystery Hospital, DJ Wars, and Nanpu Hakudu Tuju. The page also features an illustration of a stylized character in the bottom right, typical of the magazine's visual style. The magazine issue details in the top right corner indicate it's volume 28, dated August 15, 1997. This SEGA Saturn magazine issue is packed with information. The new release title section highlights recently released games like Grand Prize National Uniform, Beautiful Girl, Grand Prix Final Round, and Assault Suit Lanos 2, coming soon soft, teases upcoming titles including Langrisser 4 and Marvel Superheroes. SEGA Saturn Soft Complete Guide features Slayers Royal 2 and Makai Tenshi Jibril 4. Other sections explore network gaming potential, Word's Special Project, and Sega AM3 developer previews. AM3 Research Rush. The Game Index provides a comprehensive listing of covered games, and the magazine includes regular features, data, and reviews. This page highlights several exciting entertainment events. A major success was the Sakura Wars Song Show, a live stage performance featuring voice actors portraying beloved game characters. The show, running from July 19th to 21 Stone, featured a live orchestra and received rave reviews. Next, the Summer Namco Wonder Eggs 2, Zombies Are Dancing. It offers a unique zombie-themed experience with music from Kenji Otsuki. Attractions include tour romance and a murder mystery. Finally, Sakura Wars of the Taisho era is returning to PC with a digital data collection on CD-ROM. The Taisho Romantic Record album, releasing September 20th, includes original artwork, screensavers, and a limited edition with bonus items for fans. The SEGA Saturn news covers several events and product announcements. The 5th Mini 4WD race, themed around the popular anime and game, took place at Tokyo Joyopolis. A Sonic the Hedgehog t-shirt giveaway is happening in Akihabara, with purchases of Saturn games or software. Victor announced a new, improved, and affordable twin operator, RGVC3, for video and photo CD playback on the Saturn. A new keychain game, Tako Seijin, a virtual pet game, is available for a limited time. Readers can enter to win tickets to the Penguins Everywhere Antarctic Exhibition and Toziman Pool, a summer attraction with water slides. Sega AM3 R&D is recruiting part-time staff. Sega Saturn fans have several exciting events and releases to look forward to. A Daisuke romance game event in Kagurazaka featured cosplayers and a contest. Music lovers can anticipate a live concert in Tokyo on August 17th for the Super Robot Wars vocal collection Robination.1 album, featuring prominent anime music artists. A new trading card game, Yokai Den, based on classic monster manga, is launching with booster packs and a wide variety of cards. The Japan Media Arts Festival is also calling for entries in digital art categories, with significant prize money available. Finally, multiple new music creds are being released, including singles and compilation albums spanning various genres like J-pop and anime soundtracks, offering a diverse selection of music for fans. The next page focuses on the music group D's Secrets, consisting of members Kaori, Mayumi, and Rai. They are known for performing the opening song for the SEGA Saturn fighting game Last Bronx. The interview explores their connection to gaming. Kaori mentions enjoying games, even going to arcades and playing Game Boy. Risei talks about playing Famicom and enjoying games that use the body, although she feels a bit distant from recent games. Mayumi agrees that recent games are difficult. They discuss owning a Saturn and wanting to become a gamer once they get one. The group mentions playing Last Bronx and Mr. Bones at the club, Rahal. They feel their hip-hop track, Jaggy Love, is perfect for gaming, describing it as cool and suggesting it would be great to listen to while playing games. Veiled Secrets express their ambition to remain active in the underground club scene, even if they achieve major success, aiming to be both major and underground artists. They see this as their goal, hoping to appeal to a wider audience by bridging both worlds. They are also doing voice training and karaoke to improve their skills. They are planning live performances in Tokyo and Osaka, and express excitement to perform for their fans. This page showcases the top 15 best-selling SEGA Saturn games in a ranking format. It seems to be a weekly sales chart, highlighting popular titles and new entries. At the top spot is Real Sound, Kaze no Regret, described as an interactive sound drama. Following closely is Yukyu Gensukyoku, an RPG. Dukyusei 2 is in third place, with a screenshot showing anime-style characters, indicating it's likely a dating sim or visual novel. Other notable games in the top ranks include Tactics Ogre, a strategy RPG, and Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series. Further down the list, we see familiar titles like Thunder Force vs. a shoot-'em-up, Sonic Jam, a compilation of Sonic games, and Fighters Megamix, a fighting game. Last Bronx, the fighting game previously mentioned as having a theme song by D's Secrets, also appears in the top 10. The page provides sales data for each game, but the main takeaway is a snapshot of what Saturn gamers were buying at the time, featuring a mix of genres from RPGs and strategy games to action and simulations. The rankings give an idea of the current trends and popular titles on the SEGA Saturn. This page showcases two distinct top game rankings. The first is a user data top 20 chart, reflecting games that players are hoping to see ported to the SEGA Saturn. The House of the Dead tops this wish list, followed by titles like Neon Genesis, Evangelion, Iron Maiden, and various entries from the Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Street Fighter series, demonstrating a desire for popular games from other platforms to arrive on the Saturn. The second ranking is a Shop Data Top 15 chart for arcade video games, showcasing the current hits in arcades. Virtua Fighter 3 is at the peak of arcade popularity, with other big names like Darkstalkers 3, Tekken 3, Virtua Striker 2, and Cyber Troopers Virtualon, rounding out the top spots. This section highlights the most popular arcade games of the moment. On the right side, there are comments about the likelihood of The House of the Dead being ported to the Saturn, suggesting good potential. There's also a mention of Dynamite Baseball 97 with a low realization probability. A one-point check game segment focuses on Lost World, Jurassic Park, praising its impressive graphics and surround sound experience in the arcade. The overall tone is focused on game popularity and anticipation for future SEGA Saturn releases. This page reveals the user data top 30 ranking of highly anticipated SEGA Saturn games. Grandia takes the top spot, described as a role-playing game with impressive gameplay and strategic battles, scoring 482 points. Sakura Wars 2 is in second place, with 418 points, noted for its dramatic adventure and appealing characters. Third place is Vampire Savior, a fighting game with 335 points, highlighting the character design changes from Hunter to Savior and its fast-paced action. Further down the list, we can see Super Robot Wars F at number 4, followed by Virtua Fighter 3, and then titles like At the End of This World, Devil Summoner Soul Hackers, and Sengoku Blade. The list continues with games like Sentimental Graffiti, Last Bronx, Dead or Alive, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Lunar Eternal Blue, Desire,
Biohazard 2, Resident Evil 2, Sonic R, Black's Matrix, Silhouette Mirage, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Virus, Princess Crown, Sega Touring Car Championship, Baroque, J-League Pro Soccer Club Wotsukuru 2, Gungrafon 2, Kaze no Densetsu Xanadu, Street Fighter Collection, and Falcom Classics, filling out the rest of the top 30. The pickup check games. Spotlights, Last Bronx at rank 10, emphasizing its realistic motion capture and story, and Langrisser IV at rank 18, praising its strategic depth and numerous characters. Finally, the other check, coming soon, mentions All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua, and Sengoku Blade, Tengai no Hao Chaos Seed, as upcoming titles to watch out for. The next page showcases the weekly SEGA Saturn Readers Race, Volume 63. It's all about what Saturn owners are rating highly. This week's theme seems to be a Saturn Gal strategy attack, with the question posed, is shooting counterattacking? The rankings reveal a shakeup at the top, with new titles surging in popularity. Thunder Force V takes the #1 spot, and it seems shooting games are making a strong comeback according to the commentary. Following closely behind are variations of Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 1 Rainbow Colored Youth in second place, showing the enduring appeal of this series. Sakura Wars continues its strong performance in third. The list is quite diverse, featuring adventure titles like Eve Burst Error and Shimokyusei RPGs, such as Lunar Silver Star Story in its MPEG version, and action games like Virtua Fighter 2 and Dousei 2. Even a pinball game, Digital Pinball Necronomicon, is sitting in the top 10, showing the wide tastes of Saturn gamers. The commentary emphasizes the unexpected rise of shooting games like Thunder Force V, and suggests this might be a counter-trend in game popularity. It ends by pondering what next week's rankings will bring, hinting at continued shifts and surprises. SEGA Saturn Readers Race Volume 63 rankings reveal player preferences. Thunder Force V continues its reign at #1, praised for its classic shooter gameplay, music, and challenge. Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 1 Rainbow Colored Youth holds second, lauded for its emotional depth and character focus, particularly Yumi Nojo, and improvements over its PC Engine version. Dousei 2 is in ninth, appreciated for its polished presentation and immersive atmosphere, even if not groundbreaking in story. The rankings highlight the Saturn's diverse library, with various genres receiving player attention, showcasing the system's wide appeal and the sheer volume of games available. This page continues the SEGA Saturn Readers Race Volume 63 rankings and introduces some new arrival single-match race games. We see Pladoli Disc Volume 4 Kuroda Mirai, debuting at 324th place, with a score of 7.2. The reviewer mentions it's not really a game but something for fans, emphasizing its entertainment value as video and CD-like content, rather than a typical game. They appreciate the overall entertainment, but suggest it could be more substantial, wishing for more idol-related titles from Pladol Disc. Media Romancer for Sega Saturn Asakura Daisuke ranks at 430th place, scoring 6.3. This is described as database software featuring Asakura Daisuke. The reviewer notes it includes promotional videos, interviews, and even his illustrations and reports, making it worthwhile for fans. They mention minigames as a bonus, but feel it's a bit pricey and could benefit from more content volume. Lastly, Special Mobile Forces JSWAT enters at 515th position with a score of 4.4 and a secondary score of 6.33. The reviewer acknowledges the movie-like visuals and good system construction, but criticizes the poor controls and limited stage count. They question the case's odd resemblance to other Saturn software cases. While the system itself is deemed decent, the control issues are a significant drawback. This report from the SEGA Saturn Readers Race Volume 63 focuses on game rankings and a featured review. Several games are listed in the rankings, with placements ranging from 453rd to 547. Notable games include Farland's Story, The Ark of the King, FIFA Soccer 96, Deep Fear, and Starfighter 3000. The article highlights Digital Pinball, Last Gladiators,
receiving high scores from readers and the magazine. The review praises its realistic pinball simulation, detailed physics, diverse table designs, and smooth gameplay.
The reviewer also notes an upcoming easier-to-play version.
Reader comments echo these sentiments, highlighting the quality and table variety. The development team expresses confidence in the game's success. Lastly, the top-ranked games remain in a Cold War battle. A humorous editor's note involving Bruce Lee concludes the report. This page presents previews for 2 SEGA Saturn games and details reader contests. Real Sound, Kaze no Regret, an audio-focused adventure game, and Kyukyoku Mahjong Gensukyoku, a raising RPG, both received a score of 7.0. The RPG is praised for its system and story, but criticized for its difficulty. 2 contests are highlighted. The Order Prediction game challenges readers to predict Biohazard's Resident Evil debut ranking, with winners receiving their desired game. The Odds Prediction game asks for predictions on the average reader score for Slayers Royal 2. Additionally, a reader-voted ranking of SEGA Saturn peripherals is displayed, with the Virtua Stick Pro leading the list. The page details the accessories scores and prices. Readers are encouraged to participate in the contests by August 7th, with prizes including accessories and games. This page is dedicated to the SEGA Saturn game Last Bronx, hyped as a major event for August 1997. The page showcases screenshots of the weapon-based 3D fighting game and details its expanding world. It mentions that this release continues the Last Pro Summer Training Camp, suggesting ongoing content or promotions around the game. The core details state, Last Bronx is a fighting game from SEGA, launching on August 1st. It will be available on a 2 Candelas set for 6,800 yen and is suitable for all ages. Beyond the game itself, the page highlights a range of related media to further immerse players in the Last Bronx universe. This includes a comic being serialized in Fantasy DX magazine,
featuring characters Yuya and Yoko.
There's also a novel called Novel Asuka, linked to a monthly magazine and focusing on characters Takami and Lisa. Music is covered with a CD featuring the theme song Jaggy Love, released on August 6th. A drama series aired from April to August 1997, featuring voice actors from the game and exploring character motivations related to a tournament. A video release is also mentioned, described as a live-action adaptation of the game, available for rental. Finally, there are prize items related to Last Bronx, specifically UFO catcher toys. Essentially, the page emphasizes Last Bronx as a multimedia franchise, going beyond just the game. This page delves into the attack cancel (AC) mechanic in Last Bronx, a key element that defines the game. It highlights the advantages of attack cancel, stating it's what makes Last Bronx unique. The page explains that attack cancel allows you to interrupt your attack animation by pressing the guard button, opening up a range of strategic possibilities. The guide elaborates on how to use attack cancel effectively in various situations.
One strategy is to use attack cancel to feint attacks and create openings.
For example, you can start a strong attack, cancel it mid-animation, and then react to your opponent's response. Another use is in combos, allowing for extended and more varied attack strings. The page then gives specific examples of attack cancel usage in mid and low attacks, as well as large, slow attacks, demonstrating how to create mix-ups and openings. It also discusses the diving attack and rising attack techniques after being knocked down. The diving attack section explains its invulnerability to mid and high attacks, but vulnerability to low attacks. The rising attack section covers different ways to get up, including quick rises, rolling rises, and using rising kicks, emphasizing positioning and timing. Essentially, this page is a detailed tutorial on mastering attack cancel in Last Bronx to enhance your offensive and defensive gameplay, emphasizing its role in feints, combos, and recovery strategies. This page continues the advanced Last Bronx lessons, focusing on air combos. It starts by explaining what an air combo is, a series of attacks performed while the opponent is in the air. The guide mentions that mastering air combos is key to offense in Last Bronx. The page highlights attack cancel as crucial for air combos, since the opponent is airborne, limiting their options. It emphasizes using attack cancel (AC) to link techniques smoothly. An example combo is given: right pointing arrow PKG, right pointing arrow PKG, right pointing arrow PKG, showing how to chain attacks using AC. The guide then discusses counter-attacks to initiate air combos, suggesting moves like right pointing arrow P can launch opponents. It also mentions using specific characters' unique moves for counter hits. Quick forward is presented as a technique to close distance when the opponent is launched far away by a counter hit, enabling you to continue the combo. The input is shown as down right arrow PPG tilde PPG tilde P. It advises using quick forward when the opponent is sent flying by a counter hit to maintain offensive pressure. The guide explains how character size and bounce affect air combo execution, noting bigger characters are generally easier to combo against, especially after a bounce. Finally, the page covers using fences and bounce mechanics to extend combos. It describes fences-specific combos, and using bounce states for further attacks, giving an example. Combo using fences and bounce states.
Left pointing arrow PKG tilde PKG tilde PKG tilde PPG tilde PPG tilde P tilde P. Finishing with a 7-hit combo. The page ends by announcing the next issue will cover arcade mode CPU strategies.
This page continues the last Bronx character guides, this time focusing on Tommy. It describes Tommy as a speed-focused character who excels at rushdown tactics. The guide emphasizes using attack cancel to link his moves and create combos, even though his individual attacks might not be super damaging. The page details some of Tommy's unique skills, including the ground blast light whip kick, which is great for starting offense and controlling the ground, and crush blow, which is an overhead attack, good for breaking guards and setting up combos. It also mentions support serpent fang teeth as a valuable low attack for forcing opponents to block high and creating openings, while face crush is described as an effective upper attack to catch opponents standing. The guide showcases example combos, such as the ground-to-air lightning whip kick combo, which involves launching the opponent and continuing the attack in the air. Finally, it introduces Tommy's rushing attack as a way to pressure opponents who are trying to run away, describing it as a tool to close the distance quickly and maintain offensive pressure, although it notes the timing needs to be right to land it effectively. The page uses screenshots to visually demonstrate the moves and combos discussed. This page is a character guide for you from Last Bronx, describing her as a well-rounded character, suitable for beginners and experts alike. She utilizes Tanhanfa batons as weapons, which are described as being effective for both offense and defense, with good reach and easy handling. The guide breaks down her fighting style, emphasizing the use of varied attacks, mixing high, mid, and low strikes, and utilizing the attack cancel AC system to create combos. It highlights her special moves, such as the middle straight, which is a forward-moving attack, and the near assault, which is a knee attack that can knock down opponents. The vertical 1-2 combo road dropkick is presented as an example combo starting with punches and leading into a dropkick. For strategy, the guide suggests that Yu is a versatile character excelling in basic combos and aerial attacks. It recommends players to focus on rhythmic inputs and to be mindful of timing for advanced techniques like the vertical moves. The page concludes with a Last Bronx knowledge section, discussing winning poses and button inputs after a KO, encouraging players to experiment with different button presses for unique victory animations. This page focuses on the character Kurosawa from Last Bronx, introducing him as a fighter who favors powerful strikes using a wooden sword. Kurosawa is described as a 25-year-old, 177.5 centimeters tall, 71 kilograms member of the Rokubon Moku team. The guide highlights Kurosawa's fighting style, which revolves around strong hitting power, although his attacks are noted as being somewhat slow to execute. To compensate for this slower pace, he has access to effective throwing techniques. The page details his moveset, categorizing them into basic attacks, throwing techniques, and special moves. While there's a table of basic attacks, with commands like punch, P, and kick, K variations, the highlight is on his special moves, like the Kurosawa upper and Kurosawa slant. Example combo techniques are also provided, such as the Kurosawa upper to root combination and a simple punch combo, P to P, P, P. Finally, there's a section called Last Bronx Trivia, discussing flashy techniques. These are described as moves that might not be practical in every situation, but are visually impressive and deal psychological damage, suitable for ending rounds if you have the courage. This Resident Evil strategy guide helps players navigate the Spencer Mansion, focusing on essential item locations for Jill's scenario. Key items include finding 4 crests and 2 keys. The guide details acquiring the iron key, found behind a plant pot in the plant room, accessible after using Weed Killer. The guide also explains how to get the key, which requires a key pick, and is located in the save room. Finally, it explains how to solve the emblem puzzle to get the crest key. This involves finding the wood emblem, using it in the music room piano, and replacing the gold emblem with a dummy.
Floor plans mark item locations on the first and second floors.
A special reports section hints at the game's themes, and the guide focuses on helping players stuck on puzzles, with previous issues covering weapons, ammo, and files. This guide for Resident Evil focuses on Jill Valentine's progression through the Spencer Mansion. It details acquiring the 4 crests needed to escape: the Star Crest, Art Room Puzzle; Sun Crest, Statue Puzzle in the Gallery; Wind Crest, Dining Room Statue and Jewel; and Moon Crests, after defeating Yawn in the attic. The guide recommends the grenade launcher for the Yawn fight. The guide then moves to the dormitory, outlining key locations and items. Players need the Red Book, Control Room Key, Room 001 Bathroom, and keys to Rooms 002, Central Staircase, and 003, Weapon Storage. It also covers preparing V-Jolt in the Chemistry Lab to weaken Plant 42, with the recipe found in the Organic Chemistry file. The helmet key is obtained after defeating Plant 42. This guide details the next steps in Resident Evil after acquiring the Ghost Key. Expect tougher enemies, making the Colt Python a valuable weapon upgrade. The Tiger Room puzzle is key to obtaining it. After, revisit Yawn and proceed to the underground passage, collecting crucial items: the Mo disc in the library, essential for the research facility, and the battery for the elevator. The guide hints at branching paths, mentioning Enrico's appearance. Find both parts of the last book, top in the library, bottom with the hex crank and statue manipulation. These books unlock the research facility key. Finally, secure the second Mo disc for the best ending, and prepare for the research facility, using metals and the elevator. This page is a guide for Resident Evil, continuing the adventure into the research facility B1. It focuses on navigating the facility and solving puzzles to progress. The guide highlights finding the last Mo disc, which is crucial, as obtaining all 3 means you're now trapped. You'll use these Mo discs to unlock the security system, which involves using passwords at computer terminals. The passwords are found in the researcher's office and are needed to unlock doors. The guide also points out the power room key located in the conference room, which is essential. Rooms A, B, and C are briefly described. Room A is the individual room, cautioning about zombies. Room B is the morgue. Room C is the power room entrance, which is the initial goal. You will need to collect 3 passwords to open doors along the way, using the Mo discs in input devices. The guide mentions that Chris is the trapped person, and if you fail to rescue him, Jill will be captured instead, affecting the ending. Finally, the guide covers the final touches, restoring power to the facility.
To do this, you need to reach the power room and activate the elevator. Be warned, a tough Chimera enemy lurks there. Restoring power allows you to reach the lower levels of the research facility and continue towards the game's climax, revealing the truth behind the Umbrella Corporation's bioweapons research and Jill or Chris's fate. This page announces the start of a Machi radio drama. It highlights that the radio drama Machi will begin broadcasting on August 26th as a corner of a popular radio program. The scenario for the radio drama is original, but based on the game Machi. It seems to be a continuation of the game's story, focusing on the 8 main characters from the game. The page teases the appearance of the 9th protagonist in the radio drama and introduces Patrick Dundee as a character, described as a mysterious man in a Air Force uniform, but not actually American or a soldier. His true identity will be revealed as the drama progresses. The page also mentions guest appearances of characters from the game, showcasing Detective Nanaguri Katsuma, Yakuza Ushio Masami, and TV scriptwriter Ichikawa Fumiaki. They're described in scenarios within the radio drama that mirror scenes from the game, like Detective Nanaguri investigating a bombing and Ushio Masami in a pursuit. Another character, actor Bamba Kentaro, is also mentioned as making an appearance, with a picture suggesting he resembles Ushio. The page is advertising this radio drama as an exciting new way to experience the world of Machi, even without visuals. It emphasizes that the drama will reveal new charms of the Machi story,
and is worth listening to. There's also a special report box mentioning it's by Chunsoft, scheduled for release this fall, priced at 5,800 yen for a 2-disc set, and categorized as a sound novel. The article previews a Machi radio drama adaptation, Street Mystery, Us military pilot Patrick Dundee, offering a unique listening experience compared to the game. This 12-part, weekly 30-minute series will condense the Machi game's scenario, with listener votes influencing the story's direction. Voice actors Makoto Igari, Patrick Dundee, and Yuko Minaguchi, Ayami Koito, share their excitement about the radio drama format. Igari, a stage actor, appreciates the freedom. Minaguchi, experienced in both games and anime, highlights the nuanced acting style. The drama will air as part of the Uninhibited Night Flight program. A checkbox confirms the premiere on August 26th with preview episodes. The next page is all about the making of the CG movies for the game Chaos Seed, Feng Shui Chronicles. It's a feature going into the character design process, explaining how they took 2D character designs and transformed them into 3D for the SEGA Saturn. They used Chiba-style characters and aimed for expressive CG animation. The page shows initial design sketches for the main characters, the protagonist and heroine, detailing their looks and clothing. It highlights how they put a lot of effort into the opening movie and the 3D CG. At the bottom, there are some screenshots from the game itself, along with game details including the release date of October 25th, the price of 6,800 yen, and some game information like genre, player count, and age rating. This page continues the look into the making of the CG movies for Chaos Seed, Feng Shui Chronicle. It shows that after the storyboard is finalized, the CG movie production really gets underway. They mention that creating the wireframe models, like the one pictured, is a big task, and then they animate these models based on the storyboard. Backgrounds and lighting are added in later stages. The page highlights a completed CG movie for the game, stating it took over 5 months of production. It's described as a smooth, 15 frame per second movie, about 2 minutes and 10 seconds long. Currently, they are working on adding sound effects, background music, and narration by the voice actress for the heroine, Ayana Tsubaki. They're really emphasizing how the complex story of Chaos Seed is being visually brought to life in this opening movie. They believe it will really draw players into the game world. There's also a DG Journal mini section, which seems to be a reader submission corner. It features fan art and comments from readers. Lastly, there's information about submitting to the DG Journal with details on how to send in contributions and win prizes. It mentions reader contributions being from various regions and lists names of people who are presumably featured or winners in this volume. The interview highlights the creation of the Chaos Seed opening movie, completed before the interview. The team refined the CG, focusing on lighting, camera work, and character movement to overcome initial flatness. They meticulously remade models, paying attention to compression to prevent frame rate issues. To achieve realistic animation, staff acted out movements. A major challenge was translating 2D character designs to 3D, particularly capturing facial nuances. The team aimed for lively, animated CG. The studio behind the project, Battleship, has a long history since 1991, with experience in various games and design works. They encourage viewers to watch the opening movie closely, especially the character animation, and provide feedback, emphasizing the team's confidence in the movement and hoping players will deeply enjoy the experience. SEGA is developing All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua, working title, for the SEGA Saturn, celebrating 25 years of All Japan Pro Wrestling. The game boasts motion capture technology, capturing movements at 1/60th of a second, with a focus on wrestling legend Giant Baba. Baba himself is providing moves for the game, specifically his flying neckbreaker drop, to enhance realism. Scheduled for an October 23rd release at 5,800 yen, the game is a versus fighting game for up to 12 players, suitable for all ages. Developers at SEGA AM2, including Kako Tetsuya and Mitsuyoshi Takanobu, are impressed by the technology and Baba's movements, aiming for an authentic and powerful wrestling experience. The goal is to faithfully recreate the world of professional wrestling, promising an exciting experience for fans. This page is all about the intense motion capture process for the new All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua game. It's titled 5-Day Secret Special Training, and you can see photos of wrestlers in a ring wearing motion capture suits. Apparently, they had to do a lot of retakes to get the movements just right. There's a spotlight on wrestler Kenta Kobashi, known as Orange Crush, and they are specifically showcasing the powerbomb to jackknife fall move. You can see game screenshots demonstrating this, showing the in-game wrestlers Kobashi and Albright executing the move. The Reporter's Eye section talks about how motion capture is revolutionizing game development, allowing for incredibly realistic wrestler movements. The motion capture section explains that it's a technique to capture real human movements, using markers and cameras, to make video game animations more fluid and lifelike, moving beyond older, more basic animation techniques. They're really emphasizing how this technology is being used to create the most authentic wrestling experience possible for the SEGA Saturn. This page continues to showcase the incredible realism in All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua, emphasizing how they've captured over 300 real wrestling techniques using the latest CG technology. They are highlighting specific moves, showing both real-life wrestling photos alongside in-game screenshots for comparison. You can see the Tiger Driver 91, the drop kick, and the face kick moves detailed with images, demonstrating how closely the game recreates these actions. Wrestlers Mitsuharu Misawa and Toshiaki Kawada are featured, showcasing their signature moves translated into the game. There's also a section hyping up Red Wolf, Wolf Hawkfield, and Nankai Bombardment, Jeffrey McWild, and their new deadly techniques that are currently in development for the game. It also mentions the All Japan 25th Anniversary Dream Bout, happening on October 23rd. Finally, there's a little snippet from AM2 Research Institute, but it's noted as no comment. Overall, the page is really pushing the authentic wrestling experience the game is aiming to deliver. This page details the Dream System from Clockwork Knight 2, Pepperucha's Adventure. It's described as a key element of the story, where players can explore the dreams of Dr. Garlic. The article highlights a new location called the Fountain of Wings, a mysterious spring where water bubbles up, and above it floats a large, soap bubble-like water sphere that Dr. Garlic can enter to dream. The article mentions that dreaming at the Fountain of Wings isn't exclusive to Dr. Ugg. His three friends, Kisuke, Rokuzu, and Kurion, can also have dreams there. Their dreams, similar to Dr. Garlic's, are described as abstract and visually interesting, featuring images like water being poured into a cup and lines being drawn repeatedly. The reviewer notes, these dream sequences create a surreal and dreamlike atmosphere, contrasting with the game's normal gameplay. The page lists key game details, including that it is an Enix adventure RPG, priced at 6,800 yen, slated for release this autumn, is for one player, and recommended for all ages. The game is reported to be 65% complete at the time of this article. In an interview, Enix's Nipro Kenji discussed Clockwork Knight 2's innovative dream sequences. The game features live-action 3D sequences, a surprising visual approach for the 2D characters' dreams. This was the director's idea to integrate movies directly into gameplay, contrasting with typical CG or flat dream depictions. The developers envisioned vivid, striking dreams reflecting the game's surreal atmosphere, especially those of characters like Dr. Garlic. Creating these live-action sequences was a significant effort, taking 3 months, including 2 for shooting and 1 for editing. Nero emphasized the technical expertise needed, noting it was a luxurious production. Early buyers received a bonus 2-disc CD-ROM set. This bonus disc included high-resolution illustrations, item images, and background images for use as Windows 95 wallpapers, offering a special incentive for early adopters. This page focuses on J.League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru 2, which we know internationally as SEGA Worldwide Soccer 98 Club Championship, the sequel to the popular club management sim. It looks like a preview article for the game. The page showcases screenshots of the game in action, showing both the match gameplay and the team management interfaces. You can see the team rankings and a player edit screen allowing you to customize your team members. It mentions the game is a sports simulation and is slated for release on October 2nd, priced at 5,800 yen. There's a special feature section highlighting a 57% completion rate, suggesting this is a preview build they're showcasing. The text around this area talks about providing summarized information about Sakatsuku 2 and encouraging readers to check out the full details across 6 pages. It also suggests that even those familiar with the first game, Sakatsuku, should check out the new information in Sakatsuku 2, implying there are significant updates and new features. We also see the team Aurora and Izio Aurora, which seems to be a featured team, or example, in the screenshots. Overall, it's a promotional page-building hype for the upcoming SEGA Worldwide Soccer 98 Club Championship,
promising deeper management and gameplay than its predecessor.
This text previews SEGA Worldwide Soccer 98 Club Championship, detailing its gameplay flow. The preview covers the setup and match experience, starting with the title screen and game start menu. Players then proceed to New Game, Character Selection, and Name Entry. Club Selection, Hometown Selection, and Initial Club Member Selection follow. Players can then edit players, secure sponsors, and determine their schedule. The game then delves into club management options, like the office and stadium. Finally, the preview highlights player training and match instructions, emphasizing player commands during play. The overview highlights the game's deep club management features, offering a comprehensive look at setting up and playing the game. This page continues the breakdown of SEGA Worldwide Soccer 98 Club Championship and walks you through the team and player creation process. First up is Club Select, where you get to choose from 40 different club names and 8 uniform designs. It mentions the club names are inspired by languages like Italian and Greek. Next, Hometown Selection is detailed, and this time they've massively expanded the locations to 1229, even breaking down Tokyo into its 23 wards. You also decide your rival club's hometown here. Then it dives into player edit. As you'd expect, you can customize your player's name, face using different parts, birth country. You can even pick from 60 countries outside of Japan, height, blood type, and position. There's also a type section, which uses keywords to define your player's characteristics. You can even choose a nickname that the commentator will use during matches. The page emphasizes face customization with selectable parts and highlights the expanded hometown options, including international locations, hinting that foreign players might have some stat advantages. Finally, it introduces the keyword system. By picking 3 keywords, you shape your player's abilities, visualized in a radar chart, with stats like technique, heart, body, intelligence, and sense. This keyword selection is key to developing unique players and their potential strengths in the game. SEGA Worldwide Soccer 98 Club Championship offers extensive club management features. Players must secure sponsors, with up to 10 offering various benefits but potentially stricter terms.
The weekly game cycle revolves around the stadium, office, and clubhouse.
The office handles personnel, scouting, transfers, youth player study abroad programs, now including Africa, and stadium upgrades. It also features a comprehensive data room. The stadium lets you gauge fan satisfaction via the supporters club and invest in the local town and stadium amenities. The clubhouse focuses on player training, individual meetings, talent scouting, and detailed club information like contracts and stats. In SEGA Worldwide Soccer 98 Club Championship, player development centers around a weekly training schedule. Players train in skills like passing, shooting, and defense, with free kick training as a new addition. You can focus monthly training on player roles, targeting specific skills for each position. A special adjustment menu boosts positional suitability, while cooperation strengthening enhances team play. New tactical options include the 532 formation alongside the existing formations, and monthly tactical focuses. During matches, you can adjust tactics, including switching midfielder roles between attacking and defensive. Matchday features include the ability to change kick takers, display player names, and dynamic advertising. You can also manage player morale. Alternatively, training can be delegated to the manager. This page is an interview with the developers Ohashi and Wada about Sakatsuku 2, which is Let's Make a J.League Soccer Club 2. They are discussing how development is progressing and what's new in this version. They mentioned that the amount of things you can do in the game has increased, and they're working on improving the music, adding new songs, and keeping some good ones from the previous game. They have around 500 nicknames in the game now, which is quite a lot. The interview touches upon focusing on management aspects this time around, and how player development is still key, but there's more to do. They're talking about how things you can do are increasing, but it's more about deeper gameplay rather than just adding more tasks for the sake of it. They emphasize the importance of local engagement and investment in your club's community, suggesting you can invest in local businesses through the game. They've also added new facilities like speed gyms, power gyms, massage rooms, pools, and even lounges and meeting rooms. Finally, They announced that the official Saskatsuku homepage is launching soon, and they're going to keep updating both the game and the website with more content. This page dives into Soldner's Child Special, a fantasy simulation RPG developed by SEGA and Koei. The game is set on the war-torn continent of Gria, and you play as the mercenary Ain, aiming to bring peace to the land. As the story progresses, a mine rises through the ranks from a soldier to a knight. Character designs are by the popular illustrator Komori Yoshimasa. Karakin's rival is Cortez, another mercenary leader, depicted as a typical villainous character who thrives on looting and killing, and someone Ain will have to overcome. Gameplay emphasizes strategic unit formation, with 7 troop types, each having strengths and weaknesses. It's crucial to balance your units, combining cavalry, infantry, and archers, and to include a commander.
A single unit can hold up to 25 soldiers.
Strategically, you must choose to ally with one of the 6 nations or the Papal Territory to achieve continental unification.
Gaining fame as a mercenary is key to progress. Soldner's Child Special is slated for a fall '97 release, priced at 6,800 yen, and is reportedly 90% complete. It's touted as the ultimate fantasy simulation RPG by the collaboration of Koei and SEGA, promising exciting news for strategy game fans. Soldner's Child Special guides players through early missions, showcasing character progression from soldier to commander. The initial Story 1, Subjugate the Bandit Gang, emphasizes learning special moves. Story 2, Subjugate the Pirates, introduces a subordinate commander with magic. Story 2, Subjugate the Garrison Soldiers features stronger enemies and critical objectives, leading to Ain's promotion. The guide previews 2 additional missions. New Mission 1, Protection of Foreign Envoys, focuses on eliminating attacking enemies. New Mission 2, Surveillance and Vigilance of the Prison, highlights the importance of understanding and exploiting enemy weaknesses. The missions involve commanding infantry and cavalry, utilizing NPC allies, and strategic thinking to succeed. This page highlights Akiyoshi Imaoka, a movie director who is now venturing into game development. The page is titled Movie Director Akiyoshi Imaoka, and presents him as someone who believes in doing what's necessary without compromise, even if it's difficult. His profile mentions he debuted as a film director in 1986 and has a background in dramas and girl movies, with Time Leap being his video film debut. This is his first time working on a game. The game he's directing is RMJ: The Mystery Hospital, an adventure game for 1 player, suitable for all ages, and published by Bandai. It's scheduled for release in autumn 1997, though the price is still undecided. The page also includes a special report indicating the game is currently 42% complete. It appears to be an anticipated title from a director known for his film work, now entering the gaming world. The next page delves deeper into the development of RMJ: The Mystery Hospital, with director Akiyoshi Imaoka. He explains that the team sees themselves as creators and are working towards the game's completion, taking their time to ensure quality. Regarding using CG, Imaoka mentions it felt natural for the game's world, and they didn't hesitate, learning as they go. He emphasizes creating dramatic scenes within the game, focusing on realistic character expressions and dialogue, even visiting hamburger shops to observe real conversations. Imaoka highlights key gameplay elements. Cool shock, which seems to be a crucial keyword referring to the core horror or surprise element. Party play, suggesting cooperative gameplay with friends. And the 5 senses button, a feature that enhances immersion by blurring the visuals and focusing on sound, aiming for a more realistic and sensory experience. He describes the challenges of portraying fear and suspense in a game, and the effort to capture realistic human reactions in CG characters, even down to subtle movements. He also touches upon the difficulty of game development compared to film, emphasizing the need for constant refinement and iteration to achieve the desired quality. The page emphasizes the game's focus on realism and drama, aiming to deliver a unique and immersive horror experience. This page introduces DJ Wars, a new game coming to the SEGA Saturn in October 1997. It's highlighted as a DJ RPG and is currently 65% complete, being developed by Spike
and aimed at all ages. The game focuses on the world of DJs in clubs and discos, using records and turntables to create performances. It seems to be tapping into the popularity of DJs among young people at the time. The characters in DJ Wars are designed by IMI Tunes, known for the Circa C Lemon commercials, and are described as brimming with individuality. We get a glimpse of 5 playable characters: Toru, who is cheerful and likes women; Yuhi, a popular olive girl type; Steel, a fashionable but unworldly DJ; Anita, a sexy and dynamic alcohol-loving character; and Alex, a gangster DJ. The text emphasizes that there are many more characters planned for the game, all with unique personalities, promising exciting gameplay. It's mentioned that the characters were specially drawn by IMI Tunes for this game, and are based on the same style as the popular Circa Slang Lemon commercials. This page continues hyping up DJ Wars, proclaiming it's a totally new game experience. It describes the work of a DJ using turntables, mixers, samplers, and digital delays to blend music and create an exciting atmosphere for dancing. The main gameplay of DJ Wars is focused on DJ play and features over 50 songs created with the full force of Avex Group, a major record label. The goal in the game is to gain popularity through your DJ skills and eventually perform in bigger clubs. They also mention a studio mode where you can practice and have fun with friends.
We see the 5 characters introduced before again: Toru, Yuhi, Steel, Anita, and Alex. Toru seems excited and asks if you've checked out the latest DJ news. Yuhi is confident, saying you can't beat her with just pure skill. It's mentioned that the main RPG mode is still in development, but they feel it's capturing the game's atmosphere. They're also planning to reveal the DJ play screen as soon as it's ready. The page ends with the bold statement, "Aim for the top with DJ play," really driving home that the game is about becoming the best DJ.
Nantu Suiru is a mystery adventure game, employing Sherlock Holmes-esque armchair detective work, using videotapes as investigation tools. Players learn detective techniques through practice problems before tackling the main story, the riddle of the spiritual master. The game features 3 key characters: Professor Nantu Suiru, who provides hints; Toyama Junichi, a client known for his sometimes accurate outlandish deductions; and Kusanagi Yoko, a sharp student aspiring to be a detective. A practice problem: Who killed the wealthy old man? Challenges players to identify the murderer of a wealthy man based on a pre-incident dialogue between 3 college students. The suspects, including the victim's former girlfriend, discuss the man's wealth and their intentions.
The key piece of evidence is a mobile phone.
This page investigates the murder of Uki Gai, focusing on a failed trick. Evidence includes a faxed manuscript moved from its original location, and a burnt candle intended to ignite materials. The central question is the culprit's motive, especially considering the trick's apparent failure. The investigation centers on the faxed manuscript, revealed as Yotsuya Homare's debut work, containing the same trick used in the crime.
The manuscript was also incomplete.
The investigation unfolds through 2 key scenes: a TV debate where a police superintendent denies the possibility of perfect crimes, countered by illusionist Tenmei Sutatsu, and a scene depicting Tenmei's illusion stage, with Lily in danger. The goal is to understand the failed trick's purpose and the reason for Ukigei's murder, using clues and testimonies to solve the mystery.
Shueisha Systems producer, Mitsuru Kenji, discusses their ambitious network, RPG, Words, for the Sega Saturn. The project capitalizes on the Saturn's multimedia capabilities, viewing it as a viable alternative to PIC-based online gaming. Unlike the limited 1v1 battles of X-Band, Words aims for massive multiplayer interaction, utilizing a custom GameSock communication system via internet access points, circumventing the need for provider contracts. The game will require a game-specific ID to play, with costs covered by the game purchase and phone charges. Initial goals include 5,000 simultaneous players, eventually aiming for 10,000. The interview acknowledges the challenges of server management, player behavior, and network stability, preparing for potential issues and establishing rules. Words promises a large-scale online RPG experience, leveraging the Saturn's potential and looking to be a groundbreaking title. Sega Saturn's Words is a network RPG where players choose from 3 classes: Warrior, Priest, or Merchant. Warriors aim for domination through combat,
priests seek to lead through kindness and followers, and merchants strive for practical rule through wealth. Director Yokota Akira discusses the integration of online and offline modes. Both modes share similar visuals and controls, but offer unique events. Offline gameplay will include dungeons and puzzle solving, while network-only items will exist. Items obtained offline can be used online, emphasizing interconnectedness. Yokota also highlights the game's approach to character design. While detailed customization is limited, characters are designed to be visually distinct and will age and change over time. He encourages players to embrace this innovative gaming experience, highlighting the enhanced fun of network play. Words introduces a network world accessible through town gates and ships, mirroring the offline environment. Players can interact with each other through in-game communication, fostering a sense of community. Combat is a key feature, with both solo and party-based RPG battles. An interview with Yoshiaki Chiba of JEEG Corp. Reveals the game's development status. Core elements like movement, dialogue, and battles are implemented. The team faces challenges with TCP/IP communication, but plans for future content like events, commerce, and potentially even a marriage system. Time-limited events and unique items are planned. Chiba envisions cross-platform play and the growing importance of network games and communication. Currently, the game is only available on the Saturn. This page features an interview with Yoshihiro Iwasaki from April, discussing how communication functions turn the SEGA Saturn into a true multimedia player and enable network games. The interview highlights GameSock, a TCP/IP protocol stack developed by April and provided to Shuei, which powers SEGA Saturn Internet and network gaming. Iwasaki explains that the Saturn was conceived as a multimedia machine due to its dual CPU-S, CD-ROM drive, and dedicated graphics and sound chips. Adding communication capabilities elevates it further. He points out that while PC games like Virtua Fighter exist, using a 20,000 yen Saturn for network gaming is more practical than expensive PC hardware. He believes network games, like the RPG Words, represent a new frontier for consoles, with game ideas being crucial for success. The page details the GameSock system, positioning it as a bridge connecting the network world to the SEGA Saturn. It emphasizes GameSock's specialized design for gaming and its role in managing communication protocols. Internet 2 software for Saturn is showcased as an example of GameSock in action, enabling features like email. Finally, a glossary clarifies networking terms such as TCP/IP, providers, protocol stacks, dual CPU-S, and buses, aiming to demystify the technical aspects for readers. This page is dedicated to The Lost World, Jurassic Park, on SEGA Saturn. It urges people who haven't seen the movie to go see it, and even those who have should watch it again. The page features the game's logo and screenshots, showcasing scenes that look like they're from the movie and potentially the game. You can see a Tyrannosaurus Rex, a person in danger, and action in a jungle environment, typical of the Jurassic Park theme. This page continues the focus on The Lost World, Jurassic Park. But this time it's presented as a backside strategy guide, which hints at uncovering hidden aspects of the game. The page highlights the incredible popularity of The Lost World, Jurassic Park movie in Japan, noting it even surpassed the success of Jurassic Park and approached the level of E.T. The article suggests that the game will delve into parts of the story not fully explored in the movie, giving players a deeper experience. There's a section summarizing the movie's story, covering the basics of InGen, Site B, and the abandoned dinosaur research facility. It mentions characters like John Hammond recruiting drive Sarah Harding, and the involvement of Ian Malcolm, who previously experienced the Jurassic Park incident. The story summary also details Peter Ludlow's plan to capture dinosaurs from Site B to create a new theme park in San Diego, and the dangers they encounter in this lost world. The page concludes by mentioning the dinosaur capture team and the transport of a Tyrannosaurus Rex to San Diego, hinting at a tragic event during transportation. The image on the page shows a scene that looks directly from the Lost World movie, depicting people in a jungle setting, which is very much in line with the Jurassic Park atmosphere. The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Dinosaurs are rated on muscle, intelligence, and appearance using a dinosaur Michelin system. The Parasaurolophus, praised for its crest, earns a B rank. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, with its improved CGI visuals, is a powerhouse, receiving 2 stars for strength and intelligence, and 3 for looks. The Velociraptor, despite its perceived intelligence, is questioned for its infighting, receiving a low score in all categories. The Pachycephalosaurus, known for its headbutting, is given a B rating. The Compsognathus, the new face of the summer, is popular and tenacious, also earning a B rating, showcasing teamwork and potential for stardom. This page showcases dinosaur profiles from The Lost World, Jurassic Park, continuing from the previous page's dinosaur Michelin ratings. First up is the Gallimimus, humorously described as a top-notch runner, perfect for escape scenes. It gets 1 star for strength, 3 for intelligence, and just 1 for looks. Next, the Pteranodon is presented as a mysterious kingmaker of the dinosaur world, appearing dramatically at the end of the movie. Its strength and intelligence are unknown, but it scores 3 stars for looks. The Tyrannosaurus Rex is highlighted as the star, emphasizing its family-loving side this time around. It earns 3 stars for strength and looks and 2 for intelligence. We learn it's 12.6 meters long, a meat-eater weighing 8 tons, and reaches maturity at 5 years. The Stegosaurus is depicted as a dignified and gentle giant, like a respected lord, earning 2 stars in all categories. Its plates are mentioned as acting like solar panels for temperature control, and it's 7.5 meters long, with babies around 2.5 meters. Finally, the Triceratops is questioned if its 3 horns are outdated, suggesting it's become less fashionable compared to previous films. It gets 2 stars for strength and intelligence, and 1 for looks. Despite its 9-meter length and 11-ton weight, it's described as rather slow. The page seems to playfully analyze the dinosaurs' roles and appearances in the movie. This analysis explores the personalities of 6 key characters from The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Narian Malcolm, the mathematician, is now more well-rounded, grappling with family issues and a secret love for Sarah Harding. Sarah Harding, the paleontologist, is a logical, capable woman driven by emotion and frustrated with Malcolm. Roland Tembo, the hunter, is a manly, dignified leader focused on professionalism. Peter Ludlow, the InGen president, is profit-driven, ill-suited for leadership, and ultimately self-destructive. Nick Van Owen, the impulsive cameraman, acts emotionally and desires greatness.
Eddie Carr, the equipment specialist, is selfless and a genuinely good person.
The analysis concludes with a note on the John Williams soundtrack CD, highlighting its artistic value. The interview, Lost Boy vs. World Boy, compares Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park novels to their film adaptations. Key differences include the female protagonist of the original novel, the absence of paleontologist Richard Levine in the movies, and the shift of Sarah Harding's expertise. The interview also highlights plot changes, such as the lack of a San Diego T-Rex scene in the book, and the inclusion of a Japanese salaryman character. Ian Malcolm's personality remains consistent. The second half features an interview with Stephen Kosugahara, director of The Lost World arcade game. He discusses the game's adaptation of the first half of the movie, where players search for Sarah and Ian on the island. He recommends experiencing the game before watching the movie for added enjoyment. Kosugahara emphasizes the impact of the T-Rex's power and the action-packed final act of the film. The next page focuses on the arcade version of The Lost World, Jurassic Park. It highlights the immersive experience of the arcade cabinet, emphasizing the realistic graphics powered by the Model 3 board and the sound system that puts players right in the action. It mentions that this arcade game is made by SEGA AM3, the same team behind the arcade adaptation of the original Jurassic Park movie. The article points out that the Lost World arcade game uses a similar cabinet setup to the original, focusing on delivering a truly immersive experience. The page shows screenshots from the arcade game, including gameplay featuring shooting dinosaurs like Triceratops. It mentions the game has branching paths and mission objectives that change based on player success, adding replayability. There's also a co-op play section, noting that in boss battles, 2 players can team up, which influences the game's ending. Moving on to the SEGA Saturn version of The Lost World, the page announces its arrival on the Saturn. It describes the Saturn version as a side-scrolling action game, unlike the arcade shooter. It mentions that in the Saturn game, players can control both human and dinosaur characters, navigating the island and facing enemies. This version is described as focusing on exploring the world of The Lost World from different character perspectives. It also notes the different actions available to the various dinosaur characters, adding depth to the gameplay. This page showcases The Lost World, Jurassic Park, goods that are currently popular. It highlights various merchandises available, such as figures, clothing, watches, and stationery, stating these are just a portion of the items available. The page suggests that fans who enjoyed the movie and arcade game should consider shopping for these goods. Moving on to specific items, the page features t-shirts with stylish designs, recommending to quickly grab any design that catches your eye. There are also bags available, from logo items to dinosaur-themed designs, suitable for various uses and preferences. Watches are showcased, ranging from logo-marked designs to stylishly designed ones, available in both men's and women's styles, suggesting couples could coordinate. Next, the page presents figures, described as highly realistic, available in large sizes and smaller, affordable scales. Collecting them all to recreate the world of The Lost World is encouraged, suggesting they would make good interior decorations. Lastly, it introduces a handheld game, a Tamagotchi-style virtual pet, where you raise various dinosaurs. It encourages players to nurture their dinosaur companions carefully, as they will evolve into different dinosaur types. The bottom of the page shows screenshots of playable characters in the game: Compsognathus, Hunter, Human, Velociraptor, and Trex, briefly describing each. Compsognathus is fast and skilled in water. The Hunter is a skilled marksman with various actions. The Velociraptor is described as larger and more ferocious than in the first game, and the Trex is the largest carnivore with powerful charging attacks. This page is dedicated to showcasing the latest SEGA Saturn game releases and upcoming titles. It's divided into two main sections: New Release Title, which features recently launched games, and Coming Soon Soft for games on the horizon. The New Release Title section highlights a variety of genres, including a dating sim called Zenkoku Seifuku Bishoujo Grand Prix Find Love, the shooting game Goth World, action titles such as Courier Crisis, Twinkle Star Sprites, Vector, Ninja Jajamaru-kun, and Assault Rigs, and even a quirky racing game based on the popular manga Kochira Katsushikaku Kameari Koenmae Hashutsujo. The Coming Soon Soft section previews a diverse range of future games. Among them are the strategy RPG Langrisser IV, the fighting game Marvel Superheroes, and the action platformer Mega Man X4, which is prominently featured with an image of Alia. Other notable upcoming titles include Galaxy Fraulein Una 3, Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, and the RPG Blue Breaker. There are also more unique-sounding titles like Livescape 2 Body Bionics, an educational title called Incredible Human Body, and the bizarre-resounding Scary Physical Measurement. 5 seconds before nuclear explosion. It seems this page is providing a good overview of both what's currently available and what Saturn gamers can look forward to playing soon. Nationwide Uniformed Beautiful Girl Grand Prix Find Love is a new PC puzzle adventure game, 80% of the Beautiful Girl Grand Prix series. Players interact with 35 girls across Japan, solving puzzles to progress the story and unlock pictures. The game involves choosing an area and a girl to begin. 7 girls are introduced: Mami Nakai, a computer-savvy idol from Hokkaido; Tomi Yoshino, a daydreamer also from Hokkaido; Arisa Hanjob from Miyagi, popular but stubborn, with bowling skills; Reina Yasukawa from Yamagata, friendly and forgetful; Junko Asami from Akita, interested in romance; Narumi Sasamoto from Fukushima, a cheerful tomboy; and Yuki Sakai from Hokkaido, an energetic karaoke lover. Each girl has unique personality traits. This page showcases 2 exciting games. The first is Gotha World, a combat simulation game set in a unique world of skies and clouds, where players command airships and engage in aerial battles. The game features a strong storyline with anime cutscenes and focuses on strategic gameplay, where you lead squadrons of units to achieve mission objectives. The second game highlighted is Scorcher, a high-speed futuristic bike racing game set in the year 2010 on a devastated Earth with highways in the sky. Players race on superbikes equipped with force fields that can withstand impacts and weather. The courses are described as challenging and not straightforward, featuring boost items and requiring skillful riding. The game emphasizes speed and overcoming obstacles. It's portrayed as a futuristic evolution of bike racing, with robust bikes capable of incredible speeds and jumps. This page features 2 exciting titles. First up is Courier Crisis, an action game set in New York City where you play as a bike messenger. The aim is to navigate Manhattan streets, dodging obstacles, and successfully complete deliveries. You can even use your earnings to upgrade your bike, adding a layer of progression to the gameplay. Next we have Tinkle Star Sprites, described as a refreshing and enjoyable shooting game with puzzle elements. This Saturn version includes a special Saturn mode, which is enhanced from the arcade version based on user feedback. This Saturn mode boasts new features like character voices and a new character named Kisaragi, who's playable in this mode. They've also fine-tuned the character abilities, balanced the game, and improved graphics throughout, especially for demo scenes. The game boasts a hit counter that can reach up to 99 hits and beyond.
We also get a sneak peek at the opening movie and some of the cute characters in the game.
The next page showcases 2 more titles. The first is Kochikame, Nakagawa Land Dai Race, no Maki, a board game adaptation of the popular manga Kochikame for the SEGA Saturn. This game seems to be set in a giant theme park called Nakagawa Land, and features familiar characters from the manga. The description talks about rolling dice to move around the board and trigger events. It mentions that there are lots of gimmicks and tricks on the map itself, and even popular supporting characters from the manga make appearances. The aim seems to be to enjoy the unpredictable board game experience with all the chaos of the Kochikame world. The second game featured is Vector, described as a 3D shooting game with exhilarating speed and lock-on lasers. You pilot the RV-72 fighter and utilize both standard shots and lock-on lasers. The lock-on laser helps target enemies even while they are moving, and you can lock on to up to 8 targets simultaneously. The game has 6 stages and features impressive 3D polygon graphics and intense shooting action. It's emphasized that scoring high is a key element, encouraging players to master the lock-on system to maximize their points. The reviewer seems impressed with the 3D graphics and the fast-paced shooting gameplay. This page focuses on 2 games. First, we have Ninja Jajamaru-kun, Oni Renbuchu, which is a new entry in the classic Ninja Jajamaru-kun series, now reborn in polygons on the Sega Saturn. They're really pushing the polygonal graphics and flashy ninja techniques. What's super cool is that they've also included the original Famicom version of Ninja Jajamaru-kun within this game, so fans can experience both the new and the classic gameplay. It seems like a great way for fans to revisit the roots of the series while enjoying a modern take. Next up is Assault Trigs, a 3D shooting game set in the world of virtual sports in the near future. You play as a pilot of a rig and can choose from 3 types: standard rig for balance, heavy rig for strong armor, and light rig for high mobility. The goal is to collect gems, defeat enemies in 3D mazes, and reach the exit to become the champion of this virtual sport. The story sets the scene at a time where virtual sports are huge, and players with sharp minds and cool heads are needed to compete at the highest level. This page is titled Treasure Factory, and it seems to be a humorous take on the game Silhouette Mirage. It stars the Koopajin, those pumpkin-headed enemies from the game, who are depicted as diligent workers trying to eradicate silhouettes. One panel shows a Koopajin engulfed in flames, while another confidently states they will handle the situation calmly. The text suggests that the Koopajin are working hard every day to eliminate silhouettes, and today they are particularly fired up about it. There's a worried-looking character, probably Shina Nirashina, from Silhouette Mirage herself, who seems concerned that things are escalating too much, as buildings are exploding in the background. However, she acknowledges the Koopajin's capabilities, even if she's a bit overwhelmed by their enthusiastic approach to their work. The bottom of the page asks, Silhouette Mirage is now,
hinting at the game's development status or perhaps its current popularity at the time.
It also touches on the developers being busy with creating illustrations and even manga for SEGA Saturn Magazine, likely alongside their game development duties. This page from the Collection of Treasures Games explores Dynamite Heady, Treasure's 3rd game. The page features the game's box art and screenshots and includes insights from director Kafubu in Heady's recollections, discussing his experience developing his first original game, reflecting on the creative process. Treasure's Truth delves into the game's core mechanics, highlighting the head-throwing attacks and its connection to the Kafubu world. It notes the game's 3-year development period, emphasizing the comical yet deep nature of Dynamite Heady. The page also acknowledges the team effort behind game development, mentioning player Mr. Lair and highlighting Treasure's commitment to creating engaging games. The information section, Treasure Factory Part 2, references previous content, discusses programmer recruitment, room uploads, and future events. This page is all about the Underclassmen poster dream from Elf's Forbidden Fruit Corner. It's announcing the arrival of new posters illustrated by Kadoi-sensei for the game Underclassmen. We get to see all 7 poster designs, which are described as ultra super good, and something that will make you gasp. Each poster features a different character from Underclassmen, such as Mizuho Yuki, Ai, and Miyuki, Mahoko Mochida, Makoto Tojo, Nana, and Miko Kamiyama. There's a little comment from Kadoi-sensei for each poster, giving a bit of insight into the artwork. The page also has a section called Elf Gospel, which talks about upcoming releases. It mentions Underclassmen 2 for Windows 95, which is scheduled to be released around August 29th, and a Graduate SP disc for Classmates 2. It encourages everyone to check out the Windows 95 version of Classmates 2, and look forward to Underclassmen 2. This page is a manga strip titled Welcome to Aya Kadoi World by Aya Kadoi, and it's exclusive to Saturn Magazine. This is the 15th and final installment in the series, called Just Watching It's Yumiko. The comic strip itself is a funny 4-panel manga. One panel shows a girl peeking out from behind a door, saying she wants to confess to her senior, while another panel shows a girl being watched, making her feel nervous like she's being investigated. We also see a guy singing in the shower, and in another scene, 2 girls chatting, one referring to someone as Rumiko Takahashi in a humorous way, and wondering about a female teacher's name. There's a call to action for readers to send letters of encouragement to Kadoi-sensei, mentioning that they are working on an English version and appreciate fan mail. The bottom corner teases the manga's storyline, hinting at a protagonist trying to uncover the truth behind Miko-chan's nightly whispers at the shrine. It seems like a lighthearted and comedic series. The next page is an advertisement for the magazine Weekly Saturn Station. It's quite clever, actually. The tagline says, "If you read it, you'll want a PlayStation 2." It's kind of hinting that the magazine is so good, it covers all the gaming info you need, even if you are interested in the rival console. Below the tagline, there's a pixelated image of the magazine cover itself, and bullet points highlight that it gives perfect coverage of the latest PlayStation news, and it's the newest game software information magazine available. It even says that it's the only weekly PlayStation specialty magazine, which is a bit of a head-scratcher when the magazine is called Saturn Station. Maybe they are being ironic, or trying to appeal to a wider audience beyond just Saturn owners. The big text below the image clearly states it's Weekly Saturn Station and boasts a whopping 240 pages packed with information. They are also advertising a big price drop to just 290 yen and say it's changing on Friday, August 22nd. So it looks like a new issue coming out that week with more content and a cheaper price. The bottom line says, you just have to wait for Friday now, which is likely the day the new issue hits the shelves. Overall, it's a pretty standard magazine ad, highlighting the content and price, but with that slightly odd PlayStation angle to grab attention. Dream Access is a reader submissions section reflecting the SEGA Saturn community. It opens with reflections on the addictive nature of even poorly designed games. The content ranges from game reviews, mahjong on a machine versus real tiles, praise for Christmas nights, to personal anecdotes, Tanabata disappointment, Sonic magazine hoarding. Humorous entries include a bicycle rider requesting a full tank of gas, and a discussion about game title abbreviations. Other submissions celebrate Sakura Wars 2 with fan-made art. Overall, the page provides a snapshot of the community's diverse interests and experiences. This page continues the Class Love Letter section, where readers express their passionate feelings for game characters. One fan from Kanagawa shares their love for Kana Kirishima from Sakura Wars, praising her cuteness and wondering why more guys don't appreciate her, even admitting to buying a box of Sakura Wars trading cards for her sake. Another submission from Kyoto Prefecture is dedicated to Kaiko Miyazuka from Even Burst Error, questioning if she's happy and appreciating her smiles, even the sad ones, and admiring her strength while also wanting to protect her, dedicating the song Cherry by Spitz to her. Someone from Hokkaido writes about Kyoko Sakuragi, possibly from another game, describing a sweet scenario of a first date involving dancing, and planning strategies to spend more time with her, jokingly considering adopting a saintly good man persona. There's a short piece from Tokyo about a Game Center romance related to Virtua Fighter, mentioning overhearing a pun about heart sound at the arcade. Moving on, a submission from Okayama Prefecture is all about Sonic Jam, focusing on the catchy Sonic music and the Sonic characters like Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and Night, admitting the music gets stuck in their head. Finally, a humorous comic strip from Fukuoka Prefecture features aliens celebrating Independence Day on July 2nd with takoyaki. There are also smaller submissions from Chiba and Saitama mentioning takoyaki and Sonic Force respectively, the latter likely a playful nod to the Sonic theme. This page showcases a variety of reader submissions and game-related content. Planning Room Perchan features a reader's idea for a 24-hour Le Mans game on the Saturn, utilizing its clock for team-based racing with night driving. The page announces July's theme as Love Simulation Games I Hate and August's as Saturn Consoles and Peripherals I Hate, providing examples like Akira I Hate and Sonic I Hate to inspire submissions. Dream Access includes a girl pondering a character gender swap. Stray Lamb's Corner covers reader submissions, including gamer-related postcards and school trading card culture. Boku Hoshi features a King of Fighters illustration. Konya Da lists I Hate scenarios for Sonic, like fused characters and collecting Chaos Emeralds, peripherals, RPGs, and Mahjong games. Finally, Matagi Hunting is a humorous piece, jokingly comparing the Saturn and PlayStation versions of a hunting game. This page highlights reader submissions for the This Week's Best One contest, showcasing fan art and postcards. The top prize winner features an impressive illustration of a girl with a crown, described as having a unique charm and manga-like appeal, with the reviewer preferring this style over photo booth pictures. The page also features various game-related postcards. One submission is for Last Bronx, another shows a cool skeleton character from Mr. Bones, and there's also a cool fighting game girl, and a submission featuring a creature from Alien. Street Fighter II is also represented. Another submission depicts a girl in a princess costume, referencing Princess Crown, with the phrase, "Fighting is my nature." The program information section details the magazine's point system for reader submissions, where winners can earn points towards SEGA Saturn software or peripherals. It lists various prize tiers like Dream Illusion Hall and Dream Play candidate seats, and mentions a forthcoming renewal of the corner with new segments and reader requests, also reminding readers about submission guidelines, including address details and using black ink on postcards. The address for postcard submissions is provided at the bottom. This page features a collection of advertisements for manga anthology comics. Starting at the top, there's a big promotion for 4,DX Pocket Monster 4,DX, based on the hugely popular Game Boy title, Pokemon. It's described as a hilarious comic adaptation with a stellar lineup of artists. Next, there's 4,DX Series Volume 2 Battle Arena to Shinden, 4,DX, highlighting the second volume of comics based on the fighting game Battle Arena to Shinden. This anthology also promises a comical and deformed take on the game's world, again with a talented group of artists. Moving down, we see Super Game Anthology Comic Series, showcasing 3 more titles. First is Guardian Heroes Anthology Comic, for the action RPG Guardian Heroes, promising original stories and illustrations by popular artists, including Kotobuki Tsukasa and Sawada Hajime. Then there's Guardian Heroes 2 Anthology Comic, likely based on the sequel, also offering a collection of 4-panel comics and illustrations. Finally, we have Power Instinct 2, a Bit Strongest Legend Anthology Comic, and Vampire Hunter Darkstalker's Revenge Anthology Comic. The Power Instinct comic focuses on Power Instinct 2, promising a humorous anthology based on the fighting game. The Darkstalker's Revenge comic, based on the popular arcade fighting game, offers a collection of brand new comics and illustrations by a luxurious group of artists. All these comics are anthology series featuring various artists' interpretations of popular games in a 4-panel comic format. They all seem to be focused on humor and fan-favorite game properties. SEGA unveils August's recommended items for fans, featuring merchandise with sexy girl characters from games like Virtua Fighter 3 and Virtua Cop. Prize items include a Tama and Friends fan, a Super Horse mascot, and a Sega Girls keychain collection. Other prizes are an Evangelion plush toy and a Morinaga Chocoball Kyora-chan clock. Sega promotes its Joy telephone, a weekly updated audio service with Sega Saturn game news, and the Fax Club for detailed arcade information. Sega also announces the launch of its internet homepage with R&D content and a Pro Soccer Club corner. The page also showcases Flash SEGA Saturn Volume 19, a demo CD-ROM featuring playable demos for various games like Azel, Panzer Dragoon RPG, and Mega Man X4, allowing players to sample games before release. This page is all about Sega game music. It's highlighting a bunch of game music crids that are available for Sega games. There's a table showcasing various game titles and their corresponding CD soundtracks, like Virtua Cop, Virtua Fighter, Knights, Sega Rally Championship, Guardian Heroes, Clockwork Knight, Sakura Wars, Shining Wisdom, Sonic the Fighters, Daytona USA, and more. It seems to cover a wide range of Sega's popular titles. The page emphasizes that even after playing the games, you can relive the experience through these music crids, and they're great for listening to anywhere, anytime, to bring back the game's world. So the CD listings. There's a section called Sega Broad News Flash, with comments from staff members. One person, Nanoon, talks about missing the Evangelion audition and mentions the World Cup qualifiers. Another person, Yamazaki 253, humorously discusses gaining 5 kilograms in 2 months due to eating too much to avoid summer fatigue, and is now on a diet. A third person, New Gamer Nami, expresses excitement about the Top Skater game and shares her experience watching the Sakura Wars special public performance, praising the voice actors singing and acting, and urging readers to see it. There's also a Hagaki Big Call section encouraging readers to send in postcards with opinions, questions, illustrations, and more related to Sega Saturn. Sega is giving away presents to selected contributors. Finally, there's a Sega Press Present Corner, featuring a giveaway of Knight's OWA Cleaner wet tissue packs to 5 lucky winners. This page is an advert for a Saitama MOOC book called Cyberbots Full Metal Madness. It's the first volume in the series, and it's advertised as the ultimate strategy guide for Cyberbots on Saturn. They are really pushing this book as essential, saying it's packed with Capcom staff illustrations and secret materials that fans will love. The advert highlights that top 2D fighting game players spent over 3 months creating this guide. It boasts complete follower data for both player versus player and player versus CPU modes. They are really emphasizing how in-depth the guide is, mentioning continuous techniques from beginner to advanced levels being thoroughly covered. The book is priced at 1,500 yen, and it's published by SEGA Saturn Magazine editorial department and is a 5 size with 160 pages. It's being promoted as a big hit, already on sale. This page is a Sega Saturn software databank covering games released from November 1994 all the way to July 1997. It looks like a really handy guide for Saturn owners to see what's available. They've got tables packed with info on each game, like the release date, the title itself, who published it, the price, game genre, and even scores from reviewers. They also have columns showing what peripherals are compatible with each game, like mouse, handle, multiplayer adapters, and even age ratings like 18+. It seems they are giving scores based on reader reviews, shown as average points out of 10, and also their own magazine scores. Looking through, you can see a huge variety of titles listed, from early releases like Virtua Fighter and Daytona USA to later games. It's interesting to see the spread of genres and publishers, really showcasing the breadth of the Saturn's library during this period. Instead of listing every single game and score, which would be a massive list, this page is more like a snapshot of the Saturn's software catalog over a good couple of years, giving a good overview for players at the time. This page continues the Sega Saturn software databank, and it's still packed with game info spanning from late 1994 to mid-1997. It's essentially a detailed catalog for Saturn owners to check out what games are available and get a quick idea of their quality. We've got more tables listing games with their release dates, titles, developers, prices, genres, and those reader and magazine review scores. Looking at the game titles, there's a real mix of genres: action, RPGs, puzzle games, and even some simulation titles are present here. There's also a column detailing what extra bits and pieces the games work with, like the Saturn mouse, control pads, link cables for multiplayer, and also age ratings. It seems like they're still using that dual scoring system, reader reviews, as average points, and the magazine's own score out of 10. You can see a whole range of games, from titles like Virtua Fighter 2, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and Daytona USA, to more niche Japanese titles. It really gives you a feel for just how diverse the Saturn's game library was back then. Again, it's not about going into every single detail of every game, it's more of a broad overview of what the Saturn had to offer during that period. This page continues the Sega Saturn software databank, diving deeper into the impressive library of games. It's still in that easy-to-read table format, packed with titles released around the mid-90s. You'll see a ton of games listed here, with details like their release dates, who made them, how much they cost, and what genre they fall into. It's a great snapshot of what was available for Saturn owners back then. Looking through the titles, you'll spot a real mix of genres. Everything from action-packed games like Daytona USA and Virtua Fighter Kids, to racing titles like Road Rash and shooters such as Galaxy Force 2 and Thunder Force Gold Pack. There are also puzzle games, RPGs, and simulation titles, really showcasing the Saturn's versatility. The table also gives you a quick idea of how these games were received, with both reader scores and the magazine's own review scores out of 10. Plus, it notes what accessories each game supports, like the Saturn mouse or control pads. It's a handy guide for anyone wanting to explore the Saturn's game catalog and get a feel for the variety on offer. This page continues the deep dive into the SEGA Saturn's game library, still presented in that easy-to-read table format. You'll find a wealth of titles here from around the mid-90s, packed with info like release dates, developers, prices, genres, and even reader and magazine review scores. Looking through the titles, there's a real spread of genres, showcasing the Saturn's versatility. You've got racers like Daytona USA Circuit Edition and Die Hard Trilogy, action-adventures like Tomb Raider, and sports games like NHL Powerplay 96. There are also puzzle games and strategy titles like Civilization, and even simulation games. The reader and magazine review scores are there, giving you a quick sense of how each game was received back in the day. It's a great resource to see the variety of games available for the SEGA Saturn. This page features two main sections, a continuation of the game index in table format, and a data bank index presented as a list. The game index table continues to list a wide array of SEGA Saturn titles, with details like genre, price, and review scores. Looking at the titles, there is a real mix, including racing games like Daytona USA Circuit Edition, action titles like Die Hard Trilogy and Tomb Raider, and sports games such as NHL Powerplay 96. Puzzle and strategy games are also represented. The inclusion of reader and magazine scores offers a snapshot of how these games were perceived at the time. Moving on to the databank index, it seems to be an alphabetical list of games, categorized under Japanese syllabary headings. This section appears to be an index to find specific game information within the magazine itself. The listed games cover a broad range of genres, including action, adventure, puzzle, RPG, and sports, suggesting the databank likely holds detailed information about each of these titles within the magazine's content. This page continues the game index, showcasing a huge variety of SEGA Saturn games spanning multiple genres. You can see titles ranging from racing games like Daytona USA Circuit Edition and SEGA Rally Championship, to action-packed adventures such as Tomb Raider and Die Hard Trilogy. There's also a strong showing of fighting games, with entries from the Street Fighter and Virtua Fighter series present. Puzzle fans and strategy enthusiasts are also catered for with games listed here. It looks like the page is giving a comprehensive overview of the SEGA Saturn library available at the time, with both magazine and reader scores providing a snapshot of game reception. It's a real trip down memory lane seeing all these classic Saturn titles lined up together. This page continues the game index, and it's packed with even more titles. We're still seeing a massive range of genres, from action games like Tomb Raider and King of the Spirits, to puzzle games like Baku Baku Animal. There's a strong representation of fighting games, with various Virtua Fighter titles listed, including CG Portrait Series editions for different characters. We're also seeing racing games like Daytona USA and SEGA Rally, and even some unique titles like Tri-Rush Deppy. The index seems to be very comprehensive, listing out a huge number of SEGA Saturn games available, and it still includes magazine and reader scores for some of them, giving an idea of how they were received back in the day. It's a real treasure trove of Saturn games. This page dives into tips and tricks for the game theme park, focusing on how to make your park successful and enjoyable for customers. It seems to be offering strategic advice from the perspective of an expert player, breaking down key elements like road management, monorail utilization, and attraction placement. The page emphasizes efficient pathing, suggesting narrow walkways to reduce customer fatigue and maintain park cleanliness, while advocating for wider paths to attractions to handle queues. It also advises on monorail usage for transporting guests efficiently to the back of the park, and offers insights on attraction placement to optimize customer flow and satisfaction. There is advice on ensuring queue lines are long enough for attractions and using loop paths for efficient traffic flow. Overall, it's a guide to help players create thriving and well-organized theme parks within the game. To optimize theme park success, understand customer preferences, tailoring ride settings and fees accordingly. Balance game win rates and prizes for sustained engagement. Utilize facility points by strategically placing restrooms, bins, and landscaping for cleanliness and appeal. Maximize revenue with strategically placed shops offering varied food and drink options, adjusting flavors based on feedback. Prioritize skilled staff and promptly address underperformance. Maintain attractions and cleanliness through regular inspections and strategic bin placement. Implement park security with guards and swiftly handle disruptive behavior. Enhance customer enjoyment through entertainers, especially in queues and walkways. To succeed in theme park simulation games, prioritize data analysis to monitor finances and anticipate problems. Avoid over-reliance on stock investments. Carefully manage product procurement, inventory, and demand. Invest in facility upgrades, especially shops, over rapid expansion. Host monthly events and utilize advertising strategically to combat declining visitor satisfaction.
Financial stability is paramount. Save and avoid deficits. Design straightforward, efficient park layouts, focusing on visitor flow and cleanliness. Raise ride prices based on popularity. Invest early in staff, particularly sweepers and guards. Monitor visitor feedback and psychological indicators to understand and address customer dissatisfaction. Scenario mode in this theme park sim offers an added challenge with unique clear conditions for each country, requiring strategic park design beyond basic management. Countries are categorized by difficulty: gentle, France, Egypt, India, China; ordinary, Japan, UK; and difficult, America, Brazil, Russia, Australia. Success hinges on understanding these conditions. Specific examples are provided. Japan requires 2,000 annual visitors within 7 years, emphasizing reputation, events, upgrades, and efficiency. Australia demands acquiring all certifications within 10 years, necessitating a methodical approach and genre diversification. While considered difficult, Australia is deemed manageable. The mode encourages smart, targeted development tailored to the country's specific demands, rather than rapid expansion, with the goal of overcoming each scenario's unique challenges. The scenario mode in this theme park simulation presents unique challenges in China, India, Russia, and Egypt. China's gentle difficulty focuses on reaching $1 million in assets within 5 years by utilizing a high customer turnover strategy. India, also gentle, tasks players with maintaining 70% visitor satisfaction for a year within 5 years, emphasizing park comfort. Russia, a difficult scenario, requires developing all facilities within 10 years. Egypt, another difficult challenge, aims for $1 million in ride ticket revenue within 5 years, prioritizing attraction density and ride turnover optimization. Each scenario provides financial details, urging players to adapt their management to diverse economic landscapes. This page details 4 scenarios in a theme park simulation game, each set in a different country with unique challenges. France is presented as easy, with a focus on fast-paced park management to achieve comfort and fame within 5 years, ignoring park size or income, and emphasizing customer satisfaction and efficient operations. England, rated normal, requires attracting over 2,000 annual visitors within 7 years, suggesting players should build attractions and optimize park layout, especially family-friendly ones. Brazil is labeled difficult, challenging players to fully repay loans within 2 years, hinting at aggressive pricing strategies and cost management due to the short time frame and high loan repayment demand. Finally, America, also difficult, shares the 7-year visitor goal of 2,000 annual guests, but emphasizes family-oriented attractions as a key strategy for success in this scenario. Each scenario description includes financial starting conditions like interest rates, tax rates, initial funds, and loan limits, setting the stage for diverse economic challenges in each location. This page outlines the development process for various types of amusement park attractions, presented as a kind of flowchart or tech tree. It categorizes rides into different types, such as G-force feeling rides, inverted coasters, wooden warmth rides, view-type rides, vertically rotating rides, and vertically and horizontally rotating rides. Starting with the fundamental jet coaster, you can branch out to add loops and corkscrews to enhance the thrill. Standing coasters and inverted coasters are presented as variations, also with loop and corkscrew options. Wooden coasters are highlighted for their unique, creaky feel. For a calmer experience, there are view-type rides like Ferris wheels and sky towers, perfect for park vistas. Then, you get into vertically rotating attractions, such as the space shuttle and virtual flight. And finally, rides with both vertical and horizontal motion, like pirate ships,
magic carpets, and the ultimate hammer swing, which is described as the most exciting and durable, but also the priciest to develop. Each ride type comes with a brief description, noting its key features, target audience appeal, or development considerations, such as space requirements and maintenance costs. It's a really helpful guide for understanding how to progress and diversify your park's attractions, from the basic to the most extreme. This document categorizes amusement park attractions. Exhibits includes diverse attractions like haunted houses, immersive experiences like Inferno, a fire escape simulation, and Virtual Wars, fantasy-themed attractions, athletic adventure houses, circus shows, ninja-themed gimmicks, mazes, marine shows, and seasonal pool/skating rinks. Horizontally rotating rides covers classic options such as coffee cups and merry-go-rounds, alongside more advanced offerings like Super Spinner and Tissue Spin, with others like Wild Roll experiencing performance issues. Motor car rides features boat ride area, aqua ride, kart racing, Treasure Island, Mississippi Cruise, Water Splash, and Drift Trolley, each offering unique thematic experiences and gameplay. This SEGA Saturn Magazine survey postcard gathers reader demographics, gaming habits, and opinions. Readers are asked to provide basic information like age and occupation, and detail their SEGA Saturn game ownership and magazine reading frequency. They are asked to select their favorite and least favorite articles from Table 1, which lists articles on games like Last Bronx and Biohazard, along with strategy guides and news. The survey also probes arcade game preferences. Table 2 lists hardware owned, including SEGA Saturn models, and other consoles like PlayStation and PC Engine, and various peripherals. Table 3 is a software wish list, with up to 10 game selections from a large list of titles for the Saturn, including Panzer Dragoon RPG, fighting games like X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and various action titles. This Langrisser IV gameplay guide provides essential tips for players. It emphasizes understanding the story and character relationships, strategic battle planning, and effective resource management through equipment preparation. The guide also highlights the importance of hiring and deploying mercenaries, considering unit types for tactical advantages. A battlefield theory section focuses on combat specifics, such as the impact of defeating enemy commanders and leveling up slow-moving units. It also promotes utilizing unit-type matchups for optimal results. The guide is further supported by a comprehensive magazine feature, the Langrisser 4 Strategy Special Feature, promising in-depth coverage for players of all skill levels. This feature aims to help players fully enjoy Langrisser 4's gameplay, encouraging newcomers to embrace its challenging and rewarding strategy. The next page continues with the Langrisser IV guide, diving deeper into game mechanics and data. It starts by highlighting the Data List section, which compiles various game data like magic and unit compatibility charts, essential for commanders. The page then details magic data, with comprehensive tables categorizing spells into attack magic, attack support magic, defense magic, and recovery magic. These tables list each spell's attributes: range, target, MP cost, difficulty to learn, and incantation time. Essentially, it's a player's reference guide to understand the magic system in detail. Another section covers hidden items, revealing how many hidden items are in each stage of the game. It seems to be encouraging players to explore thoroughly. Notably, Stage 7 has a significant 6 hidden items, including a treasure, and Stage 9's 2 items are character-specific. Finally, the guide explains unit compatibility and its impact on battles. It emphasizes understanding unit strengths and weaknesses, as shown in the AT/DF attack/defense chart. For example, it points out that attacking a spearman with foot soldiers results in an attack bonus of +8 and defense bonus of +2 for the foot soldier. This compatibility system is important for strategic combat in Langrisser IV. This page delves into the unit data for Langrisser IV, offering a comprehensive breakdown for commanders. It starts by explaining the different unit stats like strength, defense, intelligence, range, attack and defense modifiers, magic resistance, MP, movement, and judgment, which are all crucial for understanding unit capabilities. The page then presents extensive tables detailing various unit classes, including fighters, lords, werecats, and more, showing their stats across all these categories. These tables also cover important aspects like the magic and skills each unit class can use, the type of troops they can command, and the items they might drop when defeated, along with the probability of those item drops. Additionally, there are sections explaining the shooting range of different unit types, like mechanical soldiers and archers, and a guide to understanding the abbreviated attribute notations used throughout the data, providing a complete reference for players to master unit management and combat strategies in Langrisser IV. This page continues the deep dive into Langrisser IV's unit data, expanding on the commander classes. It presents a series of detailed tables that lay out the stats and abilities of various unit types. You'll find a wide range of classes detailed here, from basic infantry like fighters and thieves, to more specialized roles such as clerics for healing and magic, and stone golems for tanking. The tables meticulously list each unit's stats, including their strength, defense, intelligence, and movement capabilities, alongside their proficiency with different terrains and elemental resistances. For each class, the page also outlines the magic and skills they can use, the types of soldiers they command in battle, and even the items they are likely to drop when defeated. It's a real treasure trove of information for anyone wanting to master unit composition and strategy in Langrisser IV. You can clearly see the progression through unit tiers, with more advanced classes like Paladins and Dragon Knights showing superior stats and abilities compared to their base counterparts. It's a great resource to really understand the nuances of each unit and plan your army accordingly. This page continues the extensive unit class breakdown for Langrisser IV. It delves deeper into a wide array of unit types, ranging from mounted units like Unicorn Knights and Death Knights to powerful magic users such as Archdemons and Liches. The page meticulously outlines each class's strengths, weaknesses, and special abilities through detailed tables. You can see information on their stats like attack power, defense, and magic capabilities, along with their resistance to different elements like fire, ice, and thunder. It also details the magic and skills each class can use, the types of soldiers they can command, and even the items they might carry into battle or drop upon defeat. This page offers a comprehensive guide for players looking to understand the intricacies of unit management and strategic army building in Langrisser IV, showcasing the vast selection of unit types available and their specific roles in combat. This page showcases the upcoming SEGA Saturn game Marvel Superheroes, and highlights the advantages of using the expansion RAM cartridge. It emphasizes how the cartridge enhances the game's animation, bringing it closer to the arcade experience. The page specifically focuses on Captain America and Magneto, demonstrating the visual differences with and without the RAM cartridge. For Captain America, it points out that his shield attacks have smoother and more detailed animations when using the cartridge, with more frames illustrating the shield's trajectory. Even without the cartridge, the animations are still smooth, showing clever design to maintain quality with fewer patterns. For Magneto, the difference is described as obvious in his standing pose. Without the cartridge, his pose is simpler, just body shaking. But with the cartridge, his stance becomes more elaborate, with his arms drawing a figure-8 motion and leaving afterimages. The page includes gameplay screenshots, featuring characters like Hulk, Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Juggernaut, suggesting intense versus battles. It also mentions the release date for Marvel Superheroes as August 8th from Capcom, priced at 5,800 yen, confirming it's a fighting game and cartridge compatible. The article encourages readers to experience the enhanced gameplay with the RAM cartridge and also promotes the currently popular arcade game Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. This article analyzes visual enhancements in Marvel Superheroes, specifically focusing on the effects of the expansion RAM cartridge. It showcases improvements to character animations for Shumagorath, Psylocke, and Iron Man. Shumagorath's jump attacks are more dynamic with the cartridge, while Psylocke's crouching kick benefits from additional frames, making the animation smoother. Iron Man's punch also features improved animation in the early frames, enhancing the overall visual experience. The differences are subtle, but the added detail makes the game more visually impressive. While playable without the cartridge, the article recommends it for those seeking the complete experience. The next issue will cover fighting strategies. This page is all about Mega Man X4, showcasing the first half of the game's stages. It highlights that you can now choose between X and Zero, and mentions new actions and modes. They're focusing on introducing the action and stage bosses in this preview. The page is broken down into stage previews, starting with Jungle Stage, describing it as having tricky enemies, and mentioning the importance of destroying things properly, as X has trouble with low-height enemies. The stage boss is Web Spiderus, described as using electromagnetic nets and needing quick jumps to dodge attacks. Next up is the Cyberspace Stage, described as speed-focused with yellow orbs that can be destroyed. The stage boss here is Cyber Peacock, where the wings and lock-on missiles are mentioned but easily defeated with specific techniques. The text in the manufacturer's word section mentions the cool Saturn version jacket and emphasizes enjoying the action in Mega Man X4, calling it double the fun. It also mentions 2 scenarios for the main characters. The completion rate 100% badge suggests this is a near-final version being previewed. Mega Man X4 features 2 branching storylines centered on X and Zero, each with unique perspectives on the Repliforce Rebellion. Repliforce, a Reploid military organization, seeks independence, prompting X and Zero to confront them. X struggles with his duty as a maverick hunter, battling Reploids with human-like feelings. Zero, haunted by past memories, remains resolute in his mission. The story introduces Iris, Colonel's sister, who tries to mediate between Zero and Colonel. The preview highlights 3 stages: Air Force, an aerial level; Volcano, a fiery stage with hazards; and Storm Scroll, a stage within a storm, and suggests strategies for boss battles, including Zero's Enkujin attack and the double cyclone strategy against Magmar Dragoon. This page is all about mastering special attacks in Mega Man X4 with both X and Zero. It highlights that by defeating bosses, both characters learn new abilities. For X, it's special weapons, and for Zero, it's learning techniques. The page showcases some of these special attacks, like Rising Fire, Frost Tower, and Aiming Laser for X. For Zero, it mentions Lightning Wave, Flying Swallow Kick, and Air Slash. The guide emphasizes using these special attacks effectively during stages. It also dives into stage strategies, specifically for the Marine Base and Biolaboratory stages. The Marine Base is described as an air bike stage with scrolling action. It advises using shots and dashes to overcome obstacles and enemies, and to remember locations of holes and jumps. The boss there is Jed Stingray, and the tip is to fight him underwater using jump attacks to avoid his own attacks. Biolaboratory is another stage highlighted, set in a destroyed research lab with varied terrain. It mentions the mid-boss split mushroom, suggesting to attack the faster-moving body when it splits into 2 to defeat it. Overall, this page is giving players a head start with tactics for both combat and stage navigation in Mega Man X4. This Mega Man X4 guide advises on stage selection and Zero's combos. It suggests considering stage order to leverage ride armor and Zero's growing abilities. The guide details X's special weapons, like the Double Cyclone and Grand Hunter. For Zero, it lists techniques such as the Ice Blade Slash and Gale Fang, emphasizing combo use, particularly Gale Fang into Dragon Flame Blade, for powerful one-hit kills. Stage-specific tips include using ride armor on the military train stage and rushing through the snow base. The guide also offers insights into boss fights against Slash Beast Leo and Frost Kibatos. Overall, the page provides strategic advice for both stage progression and combat, enhancing player effectiveness with X and Zero. Kawakaryu Hyaku Monogatari is a Japanese horror game for the Sega Saturn, endorsed by ghost storyteller Inagawa Junji. Before playing, users must sign a contract, absolving the game developers of responsibility for any supernatural occurrences. This immersive element requires players to enter their name and birthday. The game is based on the traditional Hyaku Monogatari, a gathering where people tell ghost stories. The game aims to recreate this experience, suggesting players might encounter real horror. A completion rate 100% is displayed, hinting at the game's depth and intensity. The developer's comment emphasizes the blurring of reality and horror, ending with the provocative suggestion that the player might regret knowing about the game. The next page delves deeper into Kawakaryu Hyaku Monogatari, highlighting its unique approach to horror. It emphasizes the game's use of real-world location scouting and recreated video footage to immerse players in a spooky experience. The game uses true emotion and 3D visuals for realistic and eerie environments, aiming to create an atmosphere fitting for ghost stories. The page mentions that players will explore locations like schools and hospitals rendered in 3Ds, interacting with scenes in real time, potentially experiencing paranormal phenomena themselves. It states the game includes 100 ghost stories, featuring appearances by Inagawa Junji himself, alongside stories sourced from Asahi Sonorama's Truly Scary Stories magazine and user submissions. These stories are then recreated in video. The page also details 2 specific ghost stories, Snake Woman and White Snake. Snake Woman talks about the eerie appearance of a woman with a snake-like tongue, while White Snake tells a tale of a man who killed a white snake and suffers bizarre consequences, ending with strange markings appearing on his body. Finally, it lists a bunch of recorded ghost story titles, giving a flavor of the game's content, mentioning themes like Music Room Girl, Doll Chasing, Seeing Eye, Ghost House, Different Dimension, Someone Behind You, Haunted Girl, and more.
It concludes by saying that after Hyaku Monogatari ends, something might happen, encouraging players to experience the horror for themselves and hoping it's not an unfortunate event.
This page unveils the simulation system in the latest Yuna game, showcasing brand new screenshots. It seems this installment emphasizes a blend of adventure and simulation battle gameplay. The adventure segments are described as central to the game, with the story progressing through scenarios and player choices branching the narrative. The battles are mission-based, featuring cute, two-headed chibi versions of the Yuna characters engaging in strategic combat. You even get to select and deploy characters before the fights begin.
We get a glimpse of the character selection screen and some in-game stats, hinting at RPG elements. The game is identified as Galaxy Fräulein Yuna, specifically Lightning Angel. The page then introduces the antagonists, the Mechanized Empire's strongest warriors. These enemies are robot soldiers, categorized into Sanitary type, Battle type, and Imperial Guardian troop types. Interestingly, two of these enemy characters are highlighted. Sakurabana, Infar, themed around cherry blossoms, and Kikuka, Jafar, themed around chrysanthemums, suggesting a flower motif for these mechanized foes. The page mentions guest designers are involved in character creation, and it's suggested you should pay attention to the character designs overall. There's a completion rate indicator shown, which may track game progress. Finally, a short comment from the developers mentions voice recording and playtesting are underway, expressing anticipation for players to experience the game. This page dives deeper into the gameplay mechanics of Galaxy Fräulein Yuna, Lightning Angel. We get a breakdown of the combat system, which isn't turn-based. Instead, character speed determines action order, emphasizing the importance of quick characters on both your team and the enemy side. There's mention of unique attack methods like tea ceremony gesture attacks and Pollyanna's long-range Milky attack, as well as Aleph China's violin lullaby, which can put enemies to sleep. The game seems to boast a wide variety of attacks. Moving on to mission structure. Each mission has specific, clear conditions, not just defeating all enemies, so strategic thinking will be key. Your performance in missions is graded with ranks, ranging from egg upwards, influencing rewards or progression. Between missions, there's a long-range map for shopping and traveling to new missions. We are introduced to more of the Mechanized Empire's warriors, all following the flower theme. Camellia flower, Tsubakibana, peach flower, Momokabana, orchid flower, Rankabana, and hydrangea flower, Ajisabibana. These continue the trend of flower-themed robot enemies hinted at in the previous page. Finally, the page touches on the original Yuna anime, mentioning its positive reception and interviews with the voice actresses for Yuna, Yukana, and Yuri, Mika Kanai, along with director Akitaro Daichi. There's a group photo of them, highlighting the voice talent behind the game. It seems the anime's popularity is strongly connected to the game's development and appeal. This guide introduces Lifescape 2 Body Bionics, focusing on essential gameplay elements. Players will encounter 8 key items. Eggs, contain items. Energy A, basic health. Energy B, full health. Shields, temporary protection. Information points, stage hints. Radar, enemy location. Warp, level escape. And keys, progression items from Psyvirus enemies. The game features 6 Psyvirus enemy types. ZZ-11, standard. T-13 Gamma, ranged attackers. J-35 Eta, fast attackers. S-33, key droppers. U-105, fast, bumping attackers. And L-65, late-game ranged attackers. Players should anticipate stronger and enhanced versions of these enemies as they progress, requiring adaptation and strategic item usage. Lifescape 2 Body Bionics features probe movement within organs via walking and flying, with turbo flight for speed and exploration. A power-up system upgrades weaponry from single shots to homing bullets by collecting Drina. The game explores the heart, pancreas, and bladder. The heart functions as a central hub, requiring passage through arteries.
The pancreas, located near the stomach, requires players to find suieki. The bladder requires finding a warp item to escape. Progression involves fighting enemies within blood vessels and organ interiors. Defeating them is essential for advancement, possibly leading to mysterious worlds and, ultimately, the brain. This page is all about the upcoming SEGA Saturn game, Magical Girl Pretty Sammy. It's described as a love magic beam birth gakuen adventure game aimed at passionate fans. It's stated to be based on the drama CD and anime series Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, which is a spin-off from Tenchi Muyo. The game seems to be presented with a comical and whimsical atmosphere. The page highlights that the game is 100% complete and ready for release. It mentions it's an adventure game where you explore various locations, and it's packed with content, including opening movie scenes that are different from the TV anime version, and music grids by Tomozawa Tomosuke. Acclaimed fans will find it incredibly worthwhile. There are screenshots showing in-game scenes, including one where characters are in gym clothes, and another where two characters seem to be in a romantic moment, emphasized with hearts. There's also a scene with a puppet-like character, which the text caption says, "As expected, this guy also appears." Another section talks about Misaki-chan's changing clothes scene, where the girls are changing for body measurements, suggesting there might be some fan service elements. The page mentions reviewer feedback, with one comment noting the game has many branching paths to enjoy during summer vacation, and recommending the official guidebook. The overall tone is very enthusiastic and promotional, emphasizing the game's appeal to fans of the anime series and its lighthearted, comedic style. The Magical Girl Pretty Sammy game features Misaki, a 9-year-old who transforms into Pretty Sammy using a magic baton. Her mission, given by the Queen of Juraihelm, is to make humans happy and prove herself worthy of the throne. Gameplay includes heated arguments between characters like Misaki and Kazumi, bordering on romantic tension, in a scenario titled Mumutsu, Two Outrageous Confrontations. Another scenario features a transforming measurement machine chasing students. A dream sequence in Pretty Sammy's dream space shows Misaki and Misaki-chan training, highlighting the duality of the character. The game presents a more mature Pretty Sammy with a new outfit and emphasizes her role as a guardian, aiming to prevent chaos, promising an adventurous and comical experience. This page showcases the SEGA Saturn game Gekitotsu Kushien, a baseball simulation and action title where you nurture your own high school baseball team. The page emphasizes the fun of raising players over 3 years to compete for victory in Koshien, the National High School Baseball Championship. The game is described as appealing to those who enjoy baseball manga and anime, allowing players to experience the passion of managing a high school team and aiming for national glory. It boasts a player development system where results impact growth, and features all 4,089 high schools from across Japan. 2-player mode is also supported. The page breaks down the game's flow from April-May practice games to the spring and summer Koshien tournaments in March and August, and autumn tournaments in October and November. The developer comments highlight the game as a sports and action title, mentioning its SEGA Saturn debut on August 1st, priced at 6,800 yen. It aims to let players experience the emotional journey of high school baseball and strive to win the Koshien tournament with their chosen school. This page continues detailing the easy-to-play baseball game, Gekitotsu Kushien. It highlights the simple controls for different gameplay aspects. For batting, the bat automatically tracks the ball, and you just need to time your A button press. Directional buttons allow for different hit types, like flowing hit and pull hit. Pitching offers 3 types: shoot, slider, and curve, for right-handed pitchers, emphasizing strategic pitching due to the limited selection. They mention using waste balls to aim for strikeouts. Base running is also simplified, using R and L buttons together to advance all runners or steal bases, with individual runner control also available. The game advises paying attention to the camera angle for better situation awareness. Defensively, actions other than throwing are automatic, influenced by player stats, while throwing is a simple button press. The page then moves on to the alma mater mode, where you can play using real high school teams. You can even customize your team's uniforms. It describes playing through practice matches, where they experienced a tough loss against Nagano Higashi High in a practice game. Moving on to the summer regional tournament, they won their first official match against Ida Kogyo with a 2-run home run, despite losing in practice matches beforehand. However, They lost their second match against Maruko Jitsugyo, expressing determination for next year's competition and highlighting the long road to Koshien. This page talks about the RPG Blue Breaker, which is described as a love adventure RPG coming to PCFX. They say it's a fresh new system that blends RPG and love simulation elements. The main goal is implied to be finding a bride, and the game focuses on getting to know and winning the hearts of female characters as you progress through your adventure. They highlight the beautiful opening movie as a notable feature and show some screenshots of in-game scenes and character portraits, mentioning that there will be animated movie scenes for key events and interactions with female characters. The story snippet talks about a protagonist named Kane who is tasked by his father to find a marriage partner and is introduced to a girl named Arsha who possesses a mysterious bracelet. Together they visit a shrine which collapses and releases a demon lord. The article suggests that befriending the girls you meet is a key aspect of the game, combining love simulation elements with the adventure. Void Road, a SEGA Saturn RPG, is set in a world built by 6 gods, consisting of dangerous strips of land. Gameplay involves 5 key steps. Players navigate the world map in real time, traveling roads between countries and encountering enemies in battles on roads, dungeons, and shrines. The protagonist, Kine, meets female companions through animated scenes. These characters become marriage candidates. Parties are formed at guilds, with a randomly chosen member and 2 player-selected members. Finally, progress is made by completing events triggered by specific conditions, with some events being mandatory for story advancement and key to reaching the game's ending. Void Road on SEGA Saturn features a girls' feeling system impacting party strength. Positive relationships with the 8 potential brides enhance the party's power, while negative feelings hinder progress. To maintain good relationships, players must carefully select dialogue options, as incorrect choices can decrease affection. Gifts boost feelings, with valuable items yielding the best results. In battles, impressive displays of strength and saving allies increase affection, whereas party wipes or running away diminish it. The game features 8 marriage candidates: Asha, Kurumi, Sage, Tarna, Nultar, Hamyun, Maya, and Yarm. Each has unique skills and personalities. Successfully romancing a girl unlocks a specific ending, but requires fulfilling certain conditions. This page dives into the horror adventure game Kuro no Donshu, which translates to Black Chapter or Fragment. It's highlighted as an adult-oriented title, emphasizing mature themes and psychological horror. The game centers around a series of murders in an apartment complex, delving into the anxieties and protective instincts of people caught in the terrifying events. This Saturn release is presented as a complete remake, boasting brand new scenes and graphically overhauled visuals to fully utilize the Saturn's capabilities. It's described as 100% complete and was slated for release on August 8th, priced at 6,300 yen. The developers share their thoughts, expressing excitement about the scenario writer's work and anticipating a positive player reception, particularly noting the game's deep psychological exploration and mature storytelling. They believe even players familiar with the PC version will find a fresh and engaging experience on the Saturn. This page is a special interview focusing on the Saturn version of Kuro no Donshu, or Black Chapter, with the development staff. They discuss adapting the adult PC game for the SEGA Saturn console market. A key point was adjusting the game's mature content to be appropriate for consoles, softening some of the harsher depictions while retaining the core themes. They aimed for expressions that would resonate with console players. The developers also touch upon the game's use of the Cthulhu mythos. They mention that while it's a motif, you don't need to be familiar with Cthulhu to enjoy it. They consciously made it accessible to a wider audience, even those unfamiliar with the mythos, ensuring the mystery story itself is engaging. The interview features comments from Otsuki Suzuki, the scenario writer for the game, who is also known for the Ryugasaki Detective Agency series, and is currently working on a 3rd PC title. The page also features an image from the game showcasing a scene between a blonde woman and a man, hinting at the mature themes and character interactions within Black Chapter. The developers emphasize that even players familiar with the PC version will find this Saturn iteration to be a worthwhile experience due to the visual overhaul and new content. The Saturn version of Black Chapter aimed for equal appeal to both male and female players, focusing on well-developed characters of both genders. The central theme of the game is family love, influencing the narrative, crime scene clues, and even the relationship between the main characters, Ryo and Asuka. Visual designer Yoshizawa Tomoaki emphasizes the team's dedication to the game's visuals. The page showcases key scenes to convey the game's coolness through screenshots, including moments with Ryo, information gathering, Nazuna encounters, and exclusive Saturn version episodes exploring character relationships. A warm, hand-drawn image of a woman and child adds a personal touch.
The page concludes with an announcement of the consumer version's release.
This page is a fan-focused look at Super Robot Wars F, compiled from reader submissions. The content is organized into thematic sections: Spirit, Luck, Heat, and Intuition. Spirit highlights fan favorites, featuring mecha like the RX-78NT1 Gundam, and pilots such as Amuro Ray. Luck addresses new players, assuring enjoyment even without prior series experience, particularly for fans of franchises like Mazinger and Gundam, with an estimated clear time of 50 to 70 hours. Heat focuses on passionate requests, including the desire for specific characters and diverse unit appearances. Finally, Intuition explores strategic elements, suggesting character pairings and referencing previous installments, while showcasing excitement for powerful units and acknowledging challenging enemies. The page encourages further reader participation via postcards. This page is part of the SEGA Saturn Soft Complete Guide, diving into recently released software. It highlights 3 games that are covered in more detail in the guide: Slayers Royal, Yukyu Gensu Kyoku, and Samurai Showdown 2-1, Blades of Blood. The page seems to be acting as an index or overview for these games, promising a thorough guide to Saturn software. There is a prominent anime character featured, possibly related to one of the games, and the layout indicates this is a section within a magazine or guidebook. This page for the SEGA Saturn Soft Complete Guide continues the look into Slayers Royal, announcing the final party member, Silphiel, has arrived, meaning all the main characters are now together. Silphiel Niels Lahada is introduced as the daughter of the city shrine chief, described as beautiful and skilled in white magic, especially healing spells. Interestingly, she also knows the ultimate attack spell, Drag Slave, which is a very powerful and rare spell only she and Lena Inverse can use. The page then teases a dramatic situation in the game, where Lena and the team are suddenly attacked by demons and trapped inside a barrier. Game screenshots show spell selection screens and action-packed battle scenes, giving a glimpse into the gameplay. It seems the reviewer is impressed by Silphiel's abilities and is highlighting an exciting and challenging part of the game. The demons in Slayers Royal are plotting to summon a past demon king using the Lazarium, a device that allows viewing the past. Lena dismisses the threat, while Silphiel is concerned. Gameplay tips recommend stocking up on powerful, magic-infused weapons in Siruan before heading to the kingdom of Rultig, where the Lazarium is located. Demon encounters increase on the journey, possibly signaling a build-up to the summoning. The guide also details minigame rewards, including swords like the Elmechia sword recommended for Guri, and 1,000 gold coins. Finally, there's a giveaway for game posters to celebrate the game's success. This guide focuses on efficient character management in Eternal Melody to maximize weekday productivity. It emphasizes teamwork, recommending pairing characters for better success rates, aiming for a triangle job rating. Jobs boost skills, so consider character development. The interface shows character stats, skills, and job details.
Pair characters with fitting skills for tasks. Tired characters can refresh at the short shop.
Generous salaries, over 100 gold.
Improve morale.
The guide highlights character-specific theme events. L's on April 7th, offer comfort. Chris's on April 11th, let her rampage. Maria's on April 16th, protect her. And Alepht's on April 27th, don't stop her. Maintaining trust is crucial for these events. Maximize free time in Eternal Melody by building relationships or training skills, as both trigger events. Prioritize visiting characters, particularly those with negative statuses, or focus on skill training when short on funds. Dungeon success hinges on gauge control, essential for the roulette system. Riskier paths yield better rewards, but increase enemy encounters. Specialize characters in either combat arts or magic. Specific event advice. Shekel, May 4th. Library choices. Talk to Trisha. Lisa, May 11th. I'm your opponent. Melody, May 15th. Let's go home. Patty, May 26th.
Conventional choices. Give a present when scolded. Sheila, June 6th. Follow Aleph Judy's story. Guide Judy to the shop park. Pete, June 13th. Prioritize choices in the mountains to reveal his hidden side. Samurai Showdown 2i, Blades of Blood, for SEGA Saturn is a fighting RPG. The story begins in Izumo, where 6 warriors are summoned to stop a demon invasion. They meet Wanakachu, receive a sacred bell, and face Kubira at Izumo Grand Shrine. The narrative then shifts to the demon god fortress, where the demon god Arigo attempts to revive Mizuki. Wanakachu seals Arigo, but Mizuki remains a threat. Kubira's stats and attacks are detailed, portraying him as a challenging enemy. The journey continues from the Demon Road through a volcanic cave to Mount Asiso, a complex maze. Treasure chests contain items like necklaces, healing water, and various medicines. Arigo is shown as incredibly powerful, easily defeating many soldiers before being sealed. This page details walkthrough information for Samurai Showdown 2-1, Blades of Blood, and continues the adventure from the previous page. It looks at the journey from Beppu Hot Springs to Demon Road, explaining that after failing to find the Fujin Thunder God in Mount Aso's volcano, the group heads to Beppu. Here, the famous hot springs are sealed by monsters, and defeating them grants the Slippery Rock item. Using this item at a large rock in the village's shrine opens the entrance to Demon Road. The page then moves on to one of the Cursed Bells discovery, Demon Road Infiltration, detailing the exploration of Demon Road to find cursed bells. The goal is to head west towards Beijing, but the dungeon is like a monster's nest. Treasure chests in this area contain items like wind orbs, antidote herbs, heavenly sacred wine, and various other medicines. The page shows maps of both areas and highlights important locations numbered 1 to 10 within these maps. Enemy encounters are also featured, showing battles against Kubira and Hakaikari. Kubira is described as relatively strong, while Hakaikari's attacks are powerful, emphasizing the need for quick health recovery during that fight. Stats and attacks for both enemies are listed, such as Kubira's Moonwheel and God Descend, and Hakaikari's Thunderclap Foot and Thunder Anger. This page of Riko Yanagita's Internet Trek column dives into the world of online gaming, with a feature on Cyber Publishing Japan. It's essentially a website, accessible at top10.co.jp, packed with links to various game-related content. The reviewer describes it as a treasure trove of online games. The page highlights different categories available on the site, spanning everything from present campaigns and online shopping, to news, music, and even family sports. It's a broad spectrum. They specifically mention Shockwave Game Comic and Horoyoi Midori no Hai, Sake Ukoku, as examples of what you can find. The reviewer seems particularly taken with a game called Asian Shock, describing it as an intensely irritating mouse-based experience, perfect for arcade game fans. They also mention Memorization Game and Sake Ukoku Horoyoi Midori no Hai, again, emphasizing the diverse game selection. Moving on, the page directs attention to the SEGA official site, found at sega.co.jp, which, unsurprisingly, is another goldmine for game enthusiasts. It features games like Nights into Dreams and UFO Catcher Online, along with puzzle games and even jigsaw puzzles. There's a screenshot featuring Sonic, suggesting there's plenty of SEGA goodness to be found there. Finally, the reviewer encourages readers to continue their online journey, suggesting they explore further links related to amusements, online comics, and internet chat, indicating that Cyber Publishing Japan is just the starting point for a much larger online adventure. This page delves into the world of character design, spotlighting Jim Stone from Setsu Wind Island Story, illustrated by Kita Amemiya. The page features an interview with the graphic designer, who explains the concept behind Jim Stone. Apparently, Jim Stone was conceived very early in the planning stages. The designer found him easy to draw due to his consistent character and personality. They mention challenges with drawing his slim style, monotone clothing, and the dimly lit setting, requiring significant effort to convey body language since facial expressions were limited. To get the right feel, the designer imagined a cheerful American singing "Beautiful Sunday" to inspire the image creation. The designer also comments on the 3D pixel art versions, stating they were aiming for a cute aesthetic
expressing fondness for this kawaii style. The bottom of the page highlights that these illustrations by Keita Amemiya depict the mysterious companions of Setsuwind Island story, specifically focusing on Dr. Garp's Illusion Lantern Festival, suggesting this is part of a series featuring various characters and graphics from Amiya's world. They hope readers will continue to enjoy this ongoing series and experience the world of Keita Amiya through these characters and graphics. This page is dedicated to a special Sakura Wars song show called Red Company Song Street. It's a stage performance of the in-game theater production Ai Uni from Sakura Wars, brought to life in the real world. The show ran for 3 days, from July 19th to 21st, at the Tokyo Kosei Nenkin Kaikan. The article explains that this stage show is a faithful recreation of the Ai Uni performance seen in the Sakura Wars game, featuring the same storyline, cast, music, and stage direction. It mentions that the voice actors from the game reprise their roles, performing songs, dances, and acting. The music director, Kohei Tanaka, also participated in the stage show, conducting the orchestra and playing the piano. The page highlights that the show aims to be a live performance that fans couldn't experience before, with the stage production closely following the game's original presentation. It points out key scenes like Sakura and Maria's duet, and Sumayor's song, showcasing the teamwork of the Flower Division. The article suggests that fans were very satisfied with this live adaptation of the beloved Sakura Wars in-game performance. There are also images from the show, depicting various scenes and characters like Sakura Shinguji and Maria Tachibana in costume on stage. The summer performance Ai Uni Drama CD, based on the Sakura Wars in-game theater performance, offers a deeper dive into the story not fully explored in the game or stage shows. This initial release features new scenes with Ogre and Clementine, along with backstage conversations, enhancing the fan experience with sound and voice acting. 4 drama creeds are planned: summer, autumn, winter, and spring, with Sumayor, Kana, Sakura, and Maria as the main cast, though Sakura and Maria are absent in the 3rd CD. A song show live CD of the stage performance is also releasing on September 26th. The summer performance drama CD follows the in-game narrative arc, with a scene breakdown provided. This series and the live CD are highly recommended for fans looking to fully immerse themselves in the summer performance Ai Uni world. Capcom Volume 34 celebrates Rockman's 10th anniversary with a Rainbow Girls Are Hot theme, featuring reader submissions and a quiz. The issue announces a Garage Kit contest in August. A Megumi-chan's Dream Pillow giveaway is also underway for software purchasers. The Big Push Room showcases reader fan art, including a shoujo manga-esque D&D illustration and chibi-style Street Fighter art. A wish ranking for games to be ported lists reader desires, topped by Alien vs. Predator. Another table speculates on limited edition game items. The HeroCap section is being revamped, aiming to improve based on reader feedback. The next issue's theme is Best Combination Couple Illustrations, with a submission deadline of August 7th. This page covers an interview with the Capcom development team discussing the newly released Mega Man X4, focusing on the limited edition's Ultimate Armor. The interview highlights the armor's combat-focused design, including bladed arm parts and wing support, emphasizing its significant power. The developers also share insights into game development challenges, such as simultaneously creating PlayStation and Saturn versions, debugging processes, and the meticulous attention to detail required to identify subtle errors. Beyond Mega Man X4, the page touches on a range of Capcom projects, including RPG ideas, Marvel vs. Street Fighter, Pocket Fighter, and Suikosai. It also includes personal anecdotes from the developers, such as Takenaka Yoshinori's interest in air guns, Chisato Shuichiro's involvement in insert songs, and Ohogawara Hiroharu's Digimon enthusiasm, providing a glimpse into the personalities behind the games. Capcom is hosting a special event for Saturn owners, seeking original RPG game ideas. The event, spearheaded by Okamoto Yoshiki, encourages fans to submit their concepts, emphasizing clarity and concise presentation. They suggest using visuals like manga or 4-panel comics to illustrate story and character details. Capcom prioritizes usable ideas. The page also highlights the Breath of Fire series, a popular Capcom RPG since the Super Famicom era. It showcases Breath of Fire 2i on PlayStation, noting its unique focus on world exploration and the protagonist's personal journey, differing from series like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. The article encourages players to experience the series, emphasizing its fishing system and distinct atmosphere, with screenshots of Breath of Fire 2i, showcasing the main character Ryu and Nina.
This page continues the call for original RPG ideas for the Saturn console, a project by Capcom, in collaboration with SEGA Saturn Magazine. They are eagerly awaiting interesting concepts, emphasizing that any type of RPG idea is welcome, focusing on detailed and concrete proposals. The application guidelines specify submissions to be within 2 manuscript pages, roughly 800 characters per page, and illustrations are allowed, up to 2 points. They highlight the deadline is October 13th, with results announced in December. Excitingly, they mention luxurious prizes, including a very desirable Orca G-Shock watch, with hints of more Saturn-related peripherals for selected entries. The page features comments from various Capcom development and publicity team members, including Nagai Junichi, Takeshita Hiroyuki, Sawada Eiji, Saito Taiko Sachiko, and Oshima Ozi Hirotaka, all expressing their anticipation for fresh and innovative RPG ideas from Saturn fans. The editorial department of SEGA Saturn Magazine reinforces their role in this project, keen to bridge the gap between players and developers. Finally, contact information is provided for submissions, addressed to the SEGA Saturn Magazine editorial department, referencing the RPG project. It is noted that this project is under the responsibility of SEGA Saturn Magazine, and queries should be directed there, emphasizing that the rights to submitted works belong to Capcom. This interview with Capcom developers Tomita Atsushi and Akimoto Katsuya explores the connection between Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, MSH vs., and American comics. Tomita discusses the expressive design of characters like Zangief and the implementation of comical special moves. Akimoto highlights the over-the-top excitement of American comics, similar to Super Robot Wars, emphasizing the crossover potential of numerous heroes, a key element of MSH vs. He contrasts the costume design styles of American and Japanese characters. A humorous anecdote about developer Oshima Oji Hirotaka further lightens the tone. The overall purpose of the page appears to promote MSH vs. by showcasing the game's fun, crossover-focused nature, inspired by American comics. Pocket Fighter, a new arcade fighting game, is coming soon, promising intense battles with a simplified control scheme. Screenshots showcase its chibi-style characters. The page also includes an interview with Funamizu Kihi, discussing the Marvel vs. series, particularly Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, and its home console releases. He highlights the fun of practicing combos. Additionally, a lighthearted anecdote reveals Funamizu's love for juice, a detail staff noted. Finally, a giveaway for a limited edition, signed, and illustrated Resident Evil book by General Manager Okamoto is announced. This page is all about the arcade game Top Skater from Sega AM3, and it's a real rush, as the title says. This article is announcing the national tournament area release for this awesome skateboarding arcade game. They are talking about hidden courses that are quite elaborate and really put your skills to the test. It's not just about racing from start to finish, but about hitting trick points all over the place, just like a real skate competition. Apparently there are also hidden characters to discover, and even a kids mode for younger players to enjoy. They are keeping the secrets close to their chest though, as the commands to unlock these hidden features are promised to be revealed in the next issue. Looks like there is a lot more to Top Skater than meets the eye. This page continues the Top Skater excitement with the announcement of participating stores for the Skaters Session 1997 tournament. It's a national event, and this page is a comprehensive list of locations across Japan where you can join in. They're calling this the Big Tournament Participating Store List, and it seems you can get an original sticker just for participating. It's a huge table broken down by prefecture, listing the store name and their contact number, so you can call ahead and get the schedule and other details. It's a massive list, spanning from Hokkaido in the north all the way down to Okinawa in the south, showing just how widespread this Top Skater craze is. Essentially, if you're in Japan and want to compete in the Skaters Session tournament, this page has got you covered with all the participating arcade locations. This page dives right into The Lost World, Jurassic Park arcade game, focusing on Stage 2, which is subtitled The King of the Lakeside. It seems to be a strategy guide breaking down the stage into 3 areas: Area 1, Area 2, and Area 3. For Area 1, the tip is about avoiding Unko attacks, which hilariously means dinosaur poop. Apparently,
The Mamenchisaurus throws poop, and you need to dodge it to progress. It also mentions using a jump to shortcut if you succeed, but failing means dealing with raptors.
Area 2 is about wild boys needing help, which refers to raptors.
It advises using grenades picked up on the right side before raptors attack. It also mentions that hitting enemies normally with the packer is easier. Area 3 is about reading the action pattern, and it focuses on raptor and Deinosuchus encounters. It seems you need to understand the raptor's attack patterns, like distance changes, far, medium, close, and lure them in. It warns about the Deinosuchus boss who jumps when you get close and advises attacking from the back. Throughout the page, there are profiles of dinosaurs appearing in Stage 2. Velociraptor, male and female, Pachycephalosaurus, Mamenchisaurus, and the boss Deinosuchus, detailing their size, diet, and characteristics. There's also a mention of director Steven Spielberg in relation to The Lost World. Overall, it's a fun and practical guide to conquering Stage 2 of this Jurassic Park arcade game. In an interview titled Man Who Loves Dinosaurs, Kiyoshi Izumi, chief designer from AMR&D Department No. 3, discusses the development of dinosaurs for The Lost World Jurassic Park game. The team built all dinosaur models from scratch, referencing books, zoos, and crocodile farms. They created 14 dinosaur types, totaling 23 with variations. Motion capture involved the team acting out dinosaur movements. The Tyrannosaurus rex was particularly challenging, requiring a high polygon count, especially for its head. Other challenging dinosaurs included Mamenchisaurus, Deinosuchus, and Carnotaurus. Izumi hoped players would enjoy the game's impressive dinosaur action. A short report by Stephen Ogasawara about a chaotic event at Joyopolis on July 6 is also included. This is a schedule from a summer special for the FM 33.3 inches 3 radio headquarters broadcast, published by the Free Research Team as part of the Computer Battle Machine Cyberathlon project. The schedule includes news updates, music, radio dramas, and segments like Today's Gotcha Gotcha Movement, featuring individuals with nicknames. The morning news discusses complaints, particularly from Tile Mister and Sega's internal countermeasures. Time for Letters from Supporters features reader mail about games, including a humorous review of a game with easy winning streaks and praise for defeating a boss in Vulfide. The reviewer also addresses a question about funky head boxers. Preparation for Tomorrow's Enemy with Judicial Maya offers advice on dealing with stinginess, fighting games, and boredom. The page also includes a recruitment notice for free members, inviting submissions for a lottery with the chance to have names displayed at arcades. This page continues the theme of Game to the People and introduces itself as SEGA AMR&D Department No. 3, Rush. It explains that 3 is an organization aiming to reform the arcade industry, moving away from elitist HEDA gamers and towards games for everyone. Their policies are to eradicate player discrimination, destroy arcade imperialism, and conclude the consumer war. The headquarters message emphasizes that HEDA gamers are beautiful and that self-satisfaction is key in gaming, not just winning. The supporters exhibition showcases reader submissions. Chairman OGA notes that the content sent in is unique and sometimes extreme, mentioning that compared to other pages, the craziness level is high. There's a nude illustration, a parody image referencing the KKK, which is described as KKK and Zox meeting, and an image of someone with their head in their hands. The Gameto the People section contains a handwritten message from the Mountain Department leader Oni no Yamashita, Demon Yamashita. It seems to be a query about a rumor that a member named Kataki is doing something called Yume Uma, Dream Horse, causing division within the department, and asks for clarification on this rumor's truth. Finally, this month's members highlights 5 newly appointed members and their nicknames, who will receive 3 stickers. They include members from Mie Prefecture, Kyoto Prefecture, Nagasaki Prefecture, Gunma Prefecture, and Saitama Prefecture. The bottom text reiterates, HETA Gamer is beautiful, games for all people, and looks forward to continued support next month. This page from AM2 Research Volume 63 focuses on Sega's arcade hit Scud Race, subtitled Super Speed Battle. The article features AM2 Research's fastest man, who is giving course strategy tips for the medium course Mystery Ruin stage, which is the competition stage for the current tournament. The article is presented as a guide by AM2 Research's top player, Makoto Osaki, who gives in-depth explanations with screenshots taken while he played. The page highlights key points on the course, using track maps and in-game perspectives. Osaki gives specific advice for corners, emphasizing drifting techniques for speed and control, particularly in the first corner and later hairpin turns. He stresses the importance of maintaining speed and using brake timing effectively, especially on challenging sections. He also points out that the twin-type Scud race machines allow for adjustable rotation radius using accelerator work, suggesting players refine their throttle control for better times, and joking to continue playing until your right foot cramps up. The article emphasizes that this course is the hottest for time attack competitions, and was a battleground within the development team. Overall, it's a strategy guide by a top AM2 player for mastering the Mystery Ruins course in Scud Race.
Virtua Striker 2 has hidden features. Hold A, B, C, and D when selecting a team to play in the away colors. Hold A at startup for the original game's background music. AM2 Research also reveals news. They discuss Virtua Surf and the Viper Spoon Want It campaign. There's an AM2 networker Ume section, pondering a character costume contest, and fan-submitted poster giveaways. They are also producing a Java T Gakuen video. Finally, AM2 Research, in collaboration with SEGA Saturn Magazine, is running a postcard contest for AM2 Research Express Weekly. Submit questions, opinions, or artwork for a chance to win a special Mr. Arizumi design t-shirt. Your feedback may influence future games and music. This page introduces the character Suzuki Shigeo from the game Anarchy in the Nippon. He's described as an angry ordinary salaryman who usually keeps a low profile but unleashes tricky moves when fighting delinquents in the game Goken MUU, which translates to no objection. His fighting style is unique, a bit slow, and incorporates comical gag techniques popular in his generation, like Shi and Death Sentence 7th Year Anniversary Killing. The Iron Man reviewer comments that Suzuki Shigeo looks exactly like a salaryman and seems strong, noting his funny animations and unique gag character style. The page highlights 3 special moves: Seiza attack, activated by K while running, stomachache to face thrust, with a combination of down P, K, and up P, and windowsill special, a 3-hit combo using forward P, then forward P plus K. The page mentions that while the windowsill special combo isn't a continuous chain at the current stage of development, the 3rd hit is a guard-breaking attack. The game details show it's by KSS, scheduled for release on September 25th, priced at 5,800 yen, in the fighting action genre, suitable for all ages, and for one player only. This page is a soft review section showcasing 2 games. The first one up is Minami Mahjong 2 Ryukyujo Tuju, an adventure game releasing on August 7th. The Lady Users Group found the summer scenery pleasing and progression straightforward, praising its focus on profiling and interviews, although they noted the theme was a bit complex. They appreciated the simple controls and thought people who enjoy this type of story would like it. The guest game writers highlighted the game's unique style of using videos and the engaging suspense. Overall, it received an average score of 7.66, deemed as normal difficulty. Next is Bakuretsu Hunter R, set to release on August 8th, described as an adventure game with RPG elements. However, the reviews are less positive. The Game Mania Group criticized the confusing map design, scenario, and battle system, and pointed out the poor quality of the video. The guest game writers felt the pacing was off, with excessive movie scenes, a confusing story, and an unbalanced game design. Despite its normal difficulty, it only scored an average of 4.33. Both reviewer groups for this title seem unimpressed with the game's overall execution. This page features reviews for 3 upcoming SEGA Saturn games. First up is Tokimeki Memorial Taisen Puzzle Dama, releasing on August 7th. The Lady Users Group enjoyed the puzzle gameplay, comparing it to Puyo Puyo, praising the chain reactions and competitive aspect for 2 players, and noting the 10-minute matches flew by. The High Rollers also enjoyed the versus play,
finding it engaging and mentioning the Hirameki mode as a highlight, despite long loading times, giving it an overall positive impression. It received a respectable average score of 6.66. Next is Terra Cresta 3D, launching on August 8th. The guest writers felt nostalgic about the game, but found the 3D presentation underwhelming. They described the gameplay as feeling flat, despite being 3D, criticizing the boss battles and lack of dynamism. The game received an average score of 4.0. Lastly, we have Phantasm, also slated for August 8th. The guest writers appreciated the game's movie-like atmosphere and full-motion video elements, noting its high difficulty and adventure game aspects. They felt it could be engaging for those who like this genre, but pointed out some confusing parts and potentially weak horror elements, and questioned the price point for the era. This title received an average score of 6.33. This page dives into 3 more upcoming SEGA Saturn titles. First up is Tenka Toitsu, releasing August 1st. Reviewers across the board gave it a modest average of 5.33. The lady users appreciated its story and user-friendly design. High rollers enjoyed the city graphics and RPG elements, but felt the visuals were small and objectives unclear, with slow movement. Guest writers liked its historical depth and simulation aspects, though noted it might be slow-paced for beginners. Next we have Panic-chan, also releasing August 8th, scoring an average of 5.33. Lady users found it charming with its anime style, adventure gameplay, and fun dialogue. High rollers highlighted the anime art and characters, enjoying the digicomic format and FMV, but noted simple gameplay and its oval-like presentation. Guest writers agreed on the magical girl theme and accessible gameplay, recommending it to anime fans and praising the character design. Finally, there's Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, another August 8th release, with a slightly lower average score of 4.66. Lady users mentioned its talking drama and face close-ups, but were frustrated by unskippable scenes and slow pacing. High rollers felt it was too reliant on static images and simple gameplay, only recommending it to dedicated fans. Guest writers were critical of the constant still images and repetitive gameplay, noting the opening and ending movies as highlights, but little else in dynamic scenes. 4 games are reviewed. Marvel Superheroes, August 8th, score 6.0, is a fighting game praised for its combos and controls, but criticized for load times and slowdown. Koten Meikyu Hyaku Monogatari, August 8th, score 7.33, a horror sound novel, is commended for its spooky stories and summer atmosphere, although some tales are short. Lifescape 2 Body Bionics, August 8th, score 5.66, is an educational shooter, but criticized for its unresponsive controls and unbalanced difficulty. The final game, simply titled Idea is Good But, score 7.0, is also a human body exploration shooter, appreciated for its educational value and unique idea, but criticized for its slow pace and tedious shooting sections. Urawaza A Go Go features reader-submitted secret techniques for SEGA Saturn games. This issue highlights secrets for Sonic Jam and Zeroion Champ Doozy. For Sonic Jam, a code entered during the demo and on the round select screen unlocks the staff roll and sound test, confirmed by a ring sound. Zeroion Champ Doozy has 2 tips. The first helps obtain rare items like the amulet in the Ghost RPG minigame by opening specific chests in a certain order. The second guarantees a fever in the slot machine minigame by pausing the game and inputting up +R+AC to stop the reels on the number 7. The page encourages readers to submit their own secret techniques, offering prizes like Saturn games and book coupons. This page is a new software release schedule showcasing upcoming games for the SEGA Saturn. It's packed with titles set to release across August, September, October, and some with undecided dates. The page provides a detailed list of each game, including its release date, title, price, the company making it, genre, and compatibility notes. Looking at August, we see titles like Last Bronx, Rockman X4, Mega Man X4 in the West, and some special edition packs. There are also adventure games, strategy titles, and even puzzle games listed. Moving into September, we have more exciting releases like Desire, Digital Pinball, Last Gladiators for 9.7, and power-up kits for games like Sangokushi IV and Nobunaga's Ambition. Tenshuki October brings titles like J-League Pro Soccer Club, Otsukuru 2, Sega Worldwide Soccer 98 in Europe, and more games spanning genres from action to strategy. The undecided section is quite long, featuring a diverse range of games including titles from the Tales series, Sakura Taisen, and other interesting-looking games. The page gives you a good overview of what Saturn gamers could expect to see in the coming months, with a wide range of genres to choose from.
The next page continues the new soft release schedule, focusing heavily on games with undecided release dates, but also highlighting titles planned for release towards the end of 1997 and into 1998. We're still seeing a wide variety of genres here, from puzzle and strategy to action and RPGs. A few titles stand out, like Princess Crown, which is an action RPG, and Lunar Eternal Blue, a highly anticipated RPG. There are also some intriguing titles like Vampire Savior, the next entry in the Darkstalkers fighting series, and Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, bringing together two huge fighting game universes. It looks like Konami's Castlevania Symphony of the Night is listed as well, and quite a few Sega Ages re-releases are in the works, including Fantasy Zone and a Memorial selection. There's a note of compatibility for some games too, indicating support for accessories like steering wheels, multi-taps for multiplayer, and even mentioning modem compatibility and mouse control for a few titles. Some games are also marked with age recommendations, like 18+. Overall, this page really emphasizes the sheer volume of games still planned for the Sega Saturn, even looking ahead into the next year. The article, Game and Art's Subtle Relationship, Animated Skeletons, discusses the game Mr. Bones, focusing on its unique portrayal of skeletons. The reviewer, Drive Fuse, a bone expert, marvels at the game's lively skeletons, contrasting them with the stillness typically associated with bones. The reviewer draws parallels to historical depictions of skeletons, particularly the Dance of Death theme. Mr. Bones allows skeletons to shift between bones and skeletons, symbolizing the boundary between life and death, ultimately teaching the meaning of living. The gameplay involves assembling skeletal parts, creating a sense of engagement and a desire for survival. The article connects this feeling to the essence of living. The article links the game to a lineage of artistic depictions of dancing skeletons, particularly in medieval European art. The piece concludes by introducing Drive Fuse, a scholar, writer, and artist specializing in bone-related topics. A small box details Mr. Bones' release information, and a section for Weekly Fuse Academy, and a URL for further information. SEGA Saturn Magazine announced winners of a previous giveaway and detailed a new one. The new giveaway offers 5 prizes. First, 20 winners can choose a Saturn game released before August 1, 1997. Second, 3 winners get a Zero Yan Champ Doozy t-shirt. Third, 4 winners receive signed autograph boards from Angel Graffiti's Profile to You voice actors. Fourth, 3 winners win a Waku Waku 7 telecard. Finally, 1 winner receives a Virtua Fighter set, including a school badge. Readers can enter by completing the questionnaire and submitting it by August 15th. Results will be in issue volume 30. The combined issue, August 22nd and 29th, will be published on August 8th. This page is an advertisement for the SEGA Saturn game Langrisser IV, illustrated by Satoshi Urushihara. The advert announces that the game is on sale today. There are details for a special package version costing 6,800 yen and a regular package at 5,800 yen, both prices excluding tax. The special package includes a Langrisser IV special pinup set of 3 and a special fan book. Below, there's a character introduction section listing characters from Langrisser IV from left to right with their Japanese voice actors. These characters include Wyler voiced by Kenji Nojima, Serena voiced by Yuko Asada, Lanford voiced by Kotaro Anai, Ricky voiced by Eiji Ishikawa, Rachel voiced by Yuko Sumitomo, Landius voiced by Ryotaro Okiawayu, Elfaniel voiced by Junko Iwao, Claret voiced by Yuka Imai, Angelina voiced by Yumi Tomai, and Zaltis voiced by Katsuyuki Konishi. At the bottom left is a small box promoting a cool pad giveaway, mentioning it's part of a summer campaign running from June 20th to August 31st for SEGA Saturn software and hardware purchases at participating stores. You can get a cool pad while supplies last, and details are available at participating stores. This page is a full-page visual advert for Langrisser IV,
showcasing the main characters illustrated by Satoshi Urushihara. It mentions that the official Messiah website is now fully launched, packed with information for fans such as the history of Langrisser and the latest software details from Messiah. It also announces that Langrisser IV radio commercials are being broadcast on Nippon Broadcasting's all-night Nippon program across 34 stations nationwide, encouraging fans to check them out. The URL for the website is provided, and the advert includes the tagline for Langrisser IV, setting the scene of ancient battles for a kingdom that became legend.
This page highlights the SEGA Saturn game, Real Sound, Kaze no Regret, a very unique title where you play entirely with sound, as the game utilizes no visuals. It's billed as a sound novel, and an authentic love story that opens up the drawers of the heart. You step into the shoes of the protagonist, Hiroshi, and experience a poignant romance centered around first love memories. The story, and even the ending, are dynamic, changing with each playthrough, influenced by your own thoughts and emotions. It's described as a bittersweet and somewhat nostalgic experience. The advert details that it's on 4 Crydroms, priced at 6,400 yen before tax, and is currently available for purchase. It also lists various convenience stores and retailers where you can find the game, and provides a website address for more information. This game is clearly aiming to deliver a deeply emotional and immersive experience through audio alone.